Good evening. It's Thursday, January 23rd, 2025, and coming to you from Lonely Tree Media headquarters in Tacoma, Washington. This is the Best Slam Sports Show. I'm your host, David Lamb. With me is my son, Parker. Say hello, Parker.
Hello, Parker.
All right. It kind of abruptly ended. There's people all just cut off at once. I don't know how they do that, but
they're trained.
they've been doing this a while.
At this point, it's not their first rodeo. It's like their 100 and something.
158th, 9th, 158th. Sorry, rodeo is what it is. Right. So, NFL playoffs in full swing. We got conference championship games coming up this weekend. We had a national champion in college football, and we also had some players inducted into the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. We're going to talk about all that. But first, I just wanted to say this. Bob Uecker passed away over last week? It was earlier this week. Was it Monday? No, was it over the weekend? It might have been the weekend. It might have been Friday. Last Friday, I think. Anyway, and it's a gigantic loss. If you like a comedy and baseball and a person that had a great sense of humor and was a good spokesman for baseball, Bob Uecker was that guy. And if you ever watched Major League, the movie, he's Harry Doyle, the announcer for the Cleveland Indians in the movie. I don't know, he played like 12 or 13 years in Major League Baseball. He wasn't very good as a hitter, great catcher, but not very good as a hitter. So he's been around, did it all, was the announcer for the Milwaukee Brewers for, I don't know, like 40 years.
A long time.
So that's a long time, yeah. So the baseball world will miss Bob Uecker, but, and, forever, every time you say, just a bit outside, that's where that comes from. So.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, if you ever hear that, just a bit outside. That was from Major League when Wild Thing Vaughn throws his first Major League pitch and it misses the plate by like 10 feet. that whole situation as he comes in for his first Major League appearance and he goes, he was wind up in the pitch just a bit outside, and then you hear him say, ball 4, ball 8, and Vaughn has loaded the bases on 12 straight pitches. None of them were close. So
yeah.
Anyway, it's pretty cool. But I'm gonna miss Bob Uecker. I had to watch Major League when I heard that he passed away. I was like, no, I gotta watch it. So he's best part of that movie. One hit, one goddamn hit. That's all we got. You can't say goddamn on the radio. And he goes, no one's listening anyway. So anyway, let's talk about Major League Baseball while we're here and talking about Major League Baseball. So Hall of Fame voting for the 2025 class. There were 18 guys on the ballot.
That sounds right.
And 3 of them got in. 3 pretty deserving people, I think, that got in. And then a number of guys that didn't get in. Let me just tell you the guys that were on the ballot that didn't get in just for funsies, right? Let's just go with Torrey Hunter, David Wright, Francisco Rodriguez, Mark Burley, Destin Pedroia, Omar Vizquel, Jimmy Rollins, Bobby Abreu, Felix Hernandez, Andy Pettit, Manny Ramirez in his next to last ballot. By the way, he's only got 1 more year of eligibility. Alex Rodriguez, who probably won't get in. Chase Utley, Andrew Jones, Carlos Beltran. Those are the people that did not make it. Carlos Beltran was close. He had 70% of the vote. You need 75%, I think?
75.
Yeah, to get in. There's 394 voters. You need 75% of them. I don't know what number that is exactly, but I'm guessing right around 300. 299, somewhere in that ballpark. 298.
Sounds about right.
To get your 75%. So, the 3 guys that did get in, Ichiro Suzuki, who was an almost unanimous pick. He had 393 votes out of 394. And the guy that didn't vote for him voted anonymously.
Of course.
Why would you do that?
Well, I don't think baseball voting should be anonymous.
No, it absolutely shouldn't be anonymous.
I get that it means a lot to people, and that's why there's it's not like he's not getting in, right?
Right.
Whether he's unanimous or not, it's not like he's not getting in.
Right.
So it's literally just it's just having the verbiage of unanimous. And I think there's too many voters. Well, there's 300 something?
394.
What the fuck for? We can't do this with 100 dudes?
Well, I think if you're a living member of the Hall of Fame, you get a vote.
Is that right?
I think so. I'm not 100%. It was baseball writers who do the. Well, you know what? Maybe it'll show. It won't show everybody for the baseball writers who do it, but the Baseball Writers Association are the people that actually vote for this. 394 ballots submitted. You needed 296 to be elected. So, does it talk about the voters? The 2025 Hall of Fame voters are listed here. So, they may all be reporters. They all may all be baseball writers. There may not be any actual baseball players in here, which is
I don't
kind of
know.
weird.
It's just
Which is kind of
silly.
weird, but to me,
Yeah.
you think if you're in the Hall of Fame, if you got guys in the Hall of Fame, they would vote. You could, I don't know, but if they're all writers, they're all writers. Yeah, that's what it looks like here. These guys are all baseball writers. You won't know hardly any of the names. I mean, just because unless you follow one guy who writes for one team and you've followed him forever, you might know that name. But the rest of these guys, nah, you don't know these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, one guy's a schmuck, Peter Schmuck.
Peter
Um,
Schmuck. Yeah, Peter Schmuck didn't vote for Ichiro Suzuki
Maybe.
because
I mean, I don't know.
wasn't there a guy last couple years, a couple years ago, who got denied by one vote?
Yeah, it's happened multiple times. Like King Griffey Jr. missed it by 3.
Oh my, Ken.
Right. Yeah.
Tell me,
I
there's
mean,
3 people out there who are like, I don't
nah.
know,
And
he's
and
not a Hall of Famer
and
for me.
I've heard the same argument, like you said earlier. I've heard the same argument from actual people who voted no on some guys that well, they were going to get in anyway. Well, then why didn't you
Right.
vote for them? If you knew they were going to get in, you knew they're a Hall of Famer, then you just voted no just because, just to be spiteful? Like, did you have something against them? Is that a personal thing? Because if that's the case, you need to not be voting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Derek
But
Jeter, one
Der-
vote.
one vote. Derek Jeter missed him by 1 vote. Mariano Rivera is the only player in the history that has gotten a unanimous vote. And I don't know why.
Why him?
Right. That's what
That's
I'm
so
saying.
weird.
I don't know why. Peter Gammons. See, Peter Gammons is one of the voters. I know Peter Gammons because he's been on ESPN. He's a big name in baseball.
Yeah.
But other than that, nah.
It's just silly that,
Yeah.
like, because can you, do you only get so many, like, it's just a yes or no, in or out, right? Your vote. So basically it comes up, it says Ichiro Suzuki, you say yes. He sees about you say yes, and you only get a handful of those votes, or you get a vote on everyone on the ballot.
You vote on everyone on the ballot, whether they're in or out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not like you were saving a vote for somebody else by
Right.
voting no for him.
Right.
This guy hates Ichiro Suzuki.
He
hates baseball. People who do not
hates
finish
baseball.
the unanimous vote hate baseball, and they
Yes.
want to watch the world burn. You gotta get rid of those guys.
I think you're right. He hates baseball.
And they're 90 something, and they're upset because they don't recognize any of the names on here. I'm guessing it's an old dude, because there's not a young person in their mind who's not putting Ken Griffey Jr. in unanimous.
I don't know. I don't know what. You don't have to give a reason. Is the problem. You know what I mean? You don't have to
you
say.
should have to explain your votes. Like, that's a lot of people. Like 390 some people. You got to ask each person about each vote they did.
That's a lot. You're right.
18 times 394
But-
explanations. But you should be known. I should know who the hell you are when you said nah.
I feel like if you voted no and you were in that big a minority, 1 out of 394, we need an explanation. We need to know why you did that, because there's no good reason, and the only reasons I can think of is like 3. You don't know anything about baseball, but you're a baseball writer, and that can't be the case, right?
It shouldn't be. Yeah.
It shouldn't be. Number 2, you don't like Ichiro. You have a personal grudge against him. And that means you shouldn't be voting if you're going to hold personal grudges as opposed to what the guy's done, right? Number 3, you're just an asshole.
You're just trying to maintain the sanctity of the Hall of Fame by
It's
not making all these unanimous.
It's already been
players.
broken.
Get
There's already
outta
a
here.
unanimous guy, so get over it, right?
Yeah.
There's going to be another one. I mean, it's going to happen again, but it's just weird, right?
His name, the internet is fantastic. His name
comes with it?
will. Well, no, what I mean is, like, his name will get leaked at some
Oh,
point.
I'm sure, yeah.
And he'll start receiving all sorts of fun threats from Seattleites
Right.
who were very upset about this.
It was Ichiro's first year on the ballot, so he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He played for 3 teams. He played for 3 teams. He played for the Mariners, then he went and played for the Yankees, played for the Marlins, and came back to the Mariners for the last couple of years. Retired after a game in Japan. His last season with the Mariners.
Yeah.
So Ichiro did it all as far as a player goes. He can hit. He hit with a little bit of power, not a lot, but he hit with a little bit of power. He was, a base stealer. He was the man ended with 500 stolen bases, right? 509 career stolen
Yeah.
bases. He was only caught stealing 117. That's a pretty good percentage. So that's like an 80% steal rate. Um,
Yeah.
he ended his career with over 3,000 hits. That's almost a sure Hall of Fame number. A 311 career batting average. He hit 371 or 371, 372 in 2004 with Seattle. And if you don't think that's good, that's 372 is way up there. His first year in the bigs in 2001, he hit 350 and was named the AL MVP and the American League Rookie of the Year. Only the second player to ever do that. 34 doubles that year. I mean, 56 stolen bases and hit 350 as a rookie. Now he had played in Japan before, so he wasn't like a rookie. But yeah, I mean the statistics are amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was a fantastic player. Um, and he deserves it. I mean, he deserves to be in. He could throw. What an arm! Holy moly! I watched him catch balls at the wall and gun people at the plate, and you're like, that's just ridiculous. He could throw, he could hit, he could steal, he had speed. He did everything you wanted him to do. He didn't pitch. It was about the only thing he didn't do. Otherwise, he'd be Shohei Ohtani, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except a little smaller.
He's a little smaller, yeah. Yeah. But man, if you need a guy to do a softball slap of a ball and get on base, that's your guy, right? You've watched college softball, right, where they slap at the
Yeah.
ball and just run to first base and hope you make a mistake. Oh man, it's perfect at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, there you go. Right. So Ichiro, that was a good choice. So who did he go in with? CC Sabathia, right? One of the biggest players in sport in baseball. CC Sabathia is a big guy. Listed, I don't know if it has his height and weight on here.
I can find it in like 2 seconds.
Can you?
He's 6'6", 300 pounds.
6'6", 300 pounds. Yeah. Oh no, it's right here. Yeah. Okay, I see it. 6'6", 300.
Yeah, that's a tall, big dude.
That is one big dude with some funky ears that stuck out the side. Anyway, but man, he could pitch. His career ERA is a little high, but he did pitch in the American League, which you get an extra hitter to face instead of pitching against batters, right, or pitchers. Sorry. So a 3.74 career ERA. He won 251 games in his career, which spanned over Cleveland and the Yankees. So his best year probably 2007 with Cleveland. He's 19-7 with a 3.21 ERA. He was 19-8 in 2011 with the Yankees with a 3, an even 3.0 ERA. But the man threw 230, 240, 250 innings in a season, which you don't do anymore. Nobody does that. Those are Iron Man numbers. Those are, Nolan Ryan numbers back in the day when you threw all 9 innings, no matter what happened. So, yeah.
I'm looking at pictures of him from his rookie year. He was so small.
Also 3,000 strikeouts. He had 3,093 career strikeouts. So
I hate how big his sleeves were.
His uniform is gigantic, and he's a big guy already. So his uniform
big sleeves, big pants.
It looks like something
and
from
his hat was always askew
a
to the
bit.
right.
Yeah.
Which I can relate to. I do that a lot.
He looks like it kind of looked like someone from like the 30s, or you know what I mean? A uniform that was an old-timey baggy looking uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that is a big guy. There's some pictures in here of him. He played for the Brewers for a while too. But yeah, he was a big boy. I mean,
he's skinny now.
major football players do it, right? All the offensive linemen, they lose weight after they come out. I mean,
yeah, but are you trying to tell me the MLB has a playing weight for pitchers? Because I got what's his name? Bartolo
Colon.
Yeah, would argue that that's not true.
Yeah.
Sabathia would argue that's
David
not true.
Wells was a big boy.
There's no way that CC Sabathia in shape is worse than CC Sabathia out of shape.
He might not throw as hard out of shape or in shape. You know what I mean? Just because he doesn't have all that behind him,
Got the fat guy strength.
Yeah, once you get all that moving towards the plate, there's a lot.
That's true.
There's a lot behind it. But anyway, he is also first ballot Hall of Famer. So I mean, that's pretty good. His numbers to me aren't what you expect in a baseball Hall of Fame pitcher. To me, traditionally, his ERA is a little high. He's 250 wins is good. It's not 300 wins, but there aren't that many 300 win pitchers, to be honest with you. But For on left-handed on the chart of left-handed pitchers regular season wins, he's pretty up there. But 3,000
Yeah.
strikeouts, he was a strikeout pitcher. And that's what he did. So,
Yeah.
not bad. Pitched in 561 games in his 560 of those he started. I guess he had one relief appearance. It happens in the playoffs, man. When you get that one, I needed to pitch an inning. Okay. So, yeah. So he's also in, and then that leaves us with one other player who got in, and this is Billy Wagner. Billy Wagner was on his 10th and final year of eligibility, and he got in with about 80% of the vote. Billy Wagner has 422 career saves, which is way up there on the list. I think there's only 7 or 8 pitchers in baseball that have over 400 saves in their career.
Oh, jeez.
Something like that. So, yeah. So a 2.31 ERA over his career, but he had some years where he was just dominant. For the Astros, in 99, he had 39 saves with a 1.57 ERA in 66 appearances. He pitched for Philadelphia in 2005, 1.51 ERA, 38 saves. Some years, and even he went out and he was still pitching. In Atlanta in 2010, his last year in the bigs, he had a 1.43 ERA with 37 saves and 104 strikeouts in 69 innings. So he was still throwing gas at his year 15 or 16 in Major League Baseball, and he retired. So he could have probably been a lot further up the list, but in terms of saves and all that stuff. But his career ERA is 2.31. It's pretty darn good. So
pretty darn good.
Pretty darn good. In 903 innings, he struck out almost 1,200 guys, 1,196. So if you're looking at what that is per inning, that's a lot. So but that's what you want out of your relievers anymore. You want them to strike out a guy and get people to ground into double plays. That's what you want. And he did it. His opposing batting average is 187 against him in his career. Opposing hitters hit 187. That's pretty darn good. So yeah, he's in.
Why did you come off after 10 years? 10 ballots.
I don't know. You're gonna need to ask the baseball writers why 10 years is the number. I don't know the answer. I don't know why you do that. You only get a certain period of time to be elected. I think you can get written in, but after that, but you can't get, you're not on the ballot automatically. Does that make sense? You can still get in the Hall of Fame, but someone has to make a campaign and get you in. You actually are automatically on the ballot for 10 years after you retire, I think, or after a certain period of being retired. I don't know. It's weird, right?
It seems like another silly rule,
arbitrary number.
Somebody on Reddit, I searched the question and somebody on Reddit goes to keep Bo Jackson out.
Maybe.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a weird thing, right?
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
You got dudes throwing no votes for no reason,
right?
And you have a 10-year limit, just to keep people riled up,
right?
Although I do guess if you haven't been elected in 10 years, there's a strong chance you're not going to be.
It does stir up some interesting feelings, baseball, about comparing guys now versus 1920 whatever, It makes some interesting comparisons because the baseball has changed so much. It's hard to compare the guys.
Yeah. Weird. Sorry. I just don't get it.
I don't know. At 10 years, that's what you get. 10 years. So
it
is what it is. But anyway, congratulations to those 3 guys. Yeah, and I saw Ichiro. We went to a baseball game. I went to one a couple years ago, and he was being honored by the Mariners. And they had Edgar Martinez and Ken Griffey Jr. and Jay Buhner and all the guys that big names from the past were there, and I think they were retiring his number in Seattle, or they were putting him in some sort of maybe the Seattle Hall of Fame or something. I can't remember what that thing was, but it was a bobblehead night, Ichiro bobblehead night. Yeah, the first X amount of people through the door get a bobblehead, right? I was not one of the first X amount of people through the door because you had to line up 4 hours before the game.
Yeah, no kidding.
To be one of those people. I'm not doing that. I don't kid. I don't like any player that much or any team that much to line up 4 hours before the thing and stand in line. Not doing that. So, and I do like baseball, but not that much. So, anyway. Anything to say about the Baseball Hall of Fame other than it's weird? And
It's weird and it doesn't make a ton. I mean, most of the time the right guys get in,
right,
but you should never have this feeling of like you should never be like, why? Why
right.
do we do that? Doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I don't like not knowing who all the voters are. I think there's too many voters, 400 people. Jeez Louises.
Yeah.
You don't need 400 people for anything. That's way too many opinions.
Well, now on the other, would it be better if it was 10? Or is that not enough?
I think
Where's the
it needs to
line?
be the current Hall of Famers vote in the next class.
Yeah, you'd think that'd be the way
So
they do it. I
whoever's
think
a Hall of Famer can vote in the next class. I want players. I want managers. I want umpires. I do not want writers
I think
unless they were a player, manager, or umpire.
I think the NFL does it that way. I think if you're a former player, you get a vote.
And the NFL very rarely gets their players wrong. Like most
But
of the time, the right guys get in.
they let a lot more people in than baseball does.
I know. Well, that's
They're
because baseball's running out of space because they've been letting people in for 150 years. Cooperstown's
true.
only so big.
That's true. Well, they'll just build another building onto, you know, whatever onto Cooper in the Baseball Hall of Fame. They'll just build another building, another wing. So
I'm trying to look and see like what is behind Cooperstown. Like what does it back up to, and property wise,
you need to buy that.
It is that for sale.
You need to invest in that before
They're
it gets
right in
full.
the middle of downtown.
Yes, Cooperstown. Well, Cooperstown's not that big. It wasn't that big when they started the Baseball Hall of Fame, which was what was the first year, 1930 something. The first Hall of Fame class. I'd have to look that up. I don't know the answer.
I'm just saying they're not going to be able to expand their building. They have to buy other buildings.
Yeah, probably.
The Stagecoach Coffee that's 2 streets over on Pioneer Street's going to have to go.
There's
Sorry,
enough
guys.
coffee places. We don't need another coffee place. That's one less would be fine. Yeah, I don't know. Baseball's weird. I mean, it's a great sport. I love the uniqueness of baseball, but it does some weird things sometimes. There's no doubt about it.
I don't even think Cooperstown's a city.
Yeah,
It's a village.
Well,
officially
in New York, there's a lot of those. In New England, there's a lot of those.
There's a lot of villages.
Villages as opposed to a city. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna leave this Wikipedia tab up and read about their median temperatures throughout the year.
Cooperstown.
Why not? Right?
Well, what can we learn about Cooperstown? How many people are in Cooperstown?
I know they average 21.7 snow inches in January.
Oh, in January.
So, in January.
Wow.
Their yearly total is around 85.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's
the more you know.
that's up there. In case anybody's thinking about going to Cooperstown for a visit, go in the spring or summer. Do not, take the snow days. Don't do that.
May through September.
Yeah, May.
Good
Yeah,
time.
right. Yeah, definitely. Well, it's baseball season. Go during baseball season.
That's a good point. Why wouldn't you?
Right.
Do they play a game in Cooperstown? Like do they have a stadium there?
A Hall of Fame game, like they do in football. I don't think so. I don't recall them doing that. I don't even know if there's because it's in downtown. There's no baseball field like right adjacent.
I don't know, man. Maybe there is. I'm looking at the map here. I'm seeing a couple streets over.
There could be. I mean,
there could be.
There could be. They could make it happen. But
this is important stuff that people really want to know about.
I'm sure that they do. Whoever they are.
Whoever they are.
They want to know about.
They're dying to know.
Yeah. So the Baseball Writers Association of America was founded in 1908 to assist journalists covering Major League Baseball for daily newspapers. Its purpose is to ensure proper working conditions in press boxes and clubhouses, and to ensure its members have access to players and others in the game, so members' reporting can be accurate, fair, and complete. There are more than 700 active members of the BBWAA, working for newspapers, magazines, and major websites. So if you want to qualify, there's actual qualifications in the Constitution for the BBWAA. So there you go.
Also, there is a stadium located 2 blocks from.
Well, there you go. Perfect.
It's called Doubleday Field.
I imagine it probably is.
Abner Doubleday.
There you go. So they could play a game there, but they don't.
Holds 10,000 people.
Man, they should play a game there.
It hosted the Hall of Fame game from 1940 to 2008, which was an exhibition between 2 major league squads.
Yeah.
So there was a Hall of Fame game there.
Yeah, but I guess the NFL one is too, right? It's an exhibition.
It's true.
So
originally the game and induction ceremony for new Hall members were held on the same day. Oh, interesting. Nice.
Right.
Well, you learn something new every. Oh, I got the standings here.
They
Hey,
also
there's your trivia question.
Go
Who
ahead.
played in the last game? The last Hall of Fame game.
In 2008.
2008.
I don't know. If I was a betting man, I'd say the Yankees.
Oh, it is a classic team, but it's not the Yankees, and they're not from New York.
Oh, so the Red Sox?
No, think
Dodgers.
I think more centrally located, Midwest team.
Oh, like the Tigers.
More popular than the Tigers.
You're talking about the Cubs?
I'm talking about the Cubs.
You're talking about the Cubs.
And they played the Padres. Guess what the score was?
Just
random guess.
In general, 7-2.
Trick question. It was rained out.
Oh, so they didn't actually play.
They didn't actually play.
So it wasn't actually a game between
the last
so
actual
technically
game was
less.
2007.
Well, there you go. See,
Baltimore versus Toronto.
Yeah,
Baltimore won 13-7.
13-7. That does sound like a preseason game. 13-7.
Now hold on here. I'm looking through their history. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4 canceled war restrictions.
Yeah.
1945. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Canceled plane malfunction. 1989. Weird. 18 games have been canceled because of the rain.
It's early.
Canceled or cut early.
Well, they had it before. That's probably true if they held it in March when, like right before the season starts. Yeah, the weather not so settled.
Yeah,
in early spring.
Actually, hold on now. You're like this. Here are the dates for them. June, August, July, June, July.
So they play an exhibition in the middle of the season?
Yep.
I don't know about that.
And the most recent 3 or 4 were May, June.
That's early in the year, but it's not
that
before
early.
The season. I don't understand about playing an exhibition in the middle of the season. I don't know about that one.
It doesn't look like they ever played it
as before.
Because remember, it doesn't look like they ever played it before the season, and most of the time it was towards the end of the year. But remember, it used to coincide with induction.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
Into the Hall of Fame. So
the
they
actual
inducted
ceremony
people late in the season.
Well, because the actual ceremony is later in the season.
Yeah, so I think they played it on the same day, and then eventually they moved the induction to Sunday and played the game on Saturday. But fun fact.
Weird. Baseball does some weird stuff, like I was saying. But three is probably the average number of players that gets inducted.
That sounds right. Yeah.
3 is right. 1937 was the first class, by the way, first Hall of Fame class. Just FYI, just in case you wanted to know.
That was so long ago.
1937. Yeah. There was what 2. I'm looking at it. 3, 4, 5. There were 5 years back in the day. This is a long time ago where no one was inducted. Oh, 6 years. 2013. Oh, 7. 2021. Nobody's inducted. Nobody got enough votes.
Hold on. 2021 MLB Hall of Fame ballot. Who is on that ballot?
I'm going to tell you.
Nobody was good enough?
Kurt Schilling, Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens. I mean, Scott Rowland. Omar Vizquel. Billy Wagner.
Wagner,
yeah. He's in now. I think Sheffield's in now, too.
Really?
Yeah.
Barry Bonds. Kurt Schilling
Barry Bonds
didn't get in.
Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens are never getting in.
Because of the drugs thing?
Because of the thing, yeah.
Yeah.
The stigmatism, whether it is or not.
But isn't Mark McGwire in?
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure he's not in either. Nope. Neither is Sammy Sosa.
I think that the steroids era is gonna cause a lot of people to not put people in.
Right.
But I don't know.
It hurt a lot, for sure. Yeah. So yeah, I think that they've limited. There used to be on the ballot longer.
Oh, interesting.
I'm looking back at the 2013 year where they didn't elect anybody, and some of those guys, Dale Murphy was on the ballot for 15 years. Jack Morris, 14 years. Yeah. So, I mean, I figure if you don't make it in the first 4 or 5 or 6 attempts, what is it about your career that's going to get better? Going to look better in year 7 or 8 after you retire?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, odds are you're not getting in at that point if you don't do it right away.
It sounds like Mark McGwire didn't even admit until that he doped until 2010. So he was already out of baseball and off the Hall of Fame voting, maybe.
Yeah, could be.
Interesting.
Weird, right?
Interesting.
There it is. Yeah, you just won't see any of those guys get in. They just don't. They're none of those guys who had anything to do or were tied up in it, rolled up in it. They're never getting in.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Pete Rose is not in here, which he should be.
Well, isn't A-Rod isn't in, right?
A-Rod's not in. Nope.
And A-Rod was a potential PED guy, right?
Yes.
Because that was when he was at.
He was on this ballot. He got 37%, 37.1% in his fourth year on the ballot.
Yeah, he's not getting in.
He's not getting in. Nope.
Oh well.
So, yeah.
Don't do the drugs.
Don't do the stay off the hot stuff, the hot sauce, and you'll be all right. Yeah. So, it's an exclusive membership. I mean, it really is. And I'm clicking on things about how you eligible candidate to be eligible for the Hall of Fame. You must have been active as a player in the major leagues at some time during a period beginning 20 years before and ending 5 years prior to election. So you have to have been retired for 5 years, but you have to have been active in the last 20. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. They must have played in each of 10 major league championship seasons, some part of which must have been within the period described in number 3A, which is the 20 years before, up to 5 years. Players shall have ceased to be an active player in the major leagues at least 5 calendar years preceding the election, but may otherwise be connected with baseball. In the case of the death of an active player or a player who has been retired for less than 5 full years, a candidate who is otherwise eligible shall be eligible in the next regular election, held at least 6 months after the date of the death. So if you die and the next one is 6 months away, you can be in that Hall of Fame vote. Roberto Clemente being an example. Any player on baseball's ineligible list shall not be an eligible candidate. So, if you've been suspended by Kennesaw Mountain Landis for the Black Sox scandal in 19 whatever, you cannot be eligible to get into the Hall of Fame. Just FYI. There's that. So, yeah, it's interesting, right? I mean, it's interesting the way they do it. It's just weird. Baseball's got some weird, quirky rules. That's all I can say. I mean, I can't even say it any better than that. They're just a weird sport, man. So yeah. Ichiro, by the way, was one of 5 players in Major League Baseball history to have 3,000 hits, a 300 lifetime batting average, and 500 stolen bases.
Yeah.
The other ones are
insane.
That's insane. Paul Molitor, who used to play for the Twins and the Brewers, Ty Cobb, Honest Wagner, Eddie Collins from back in the day, and then Ichiro.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's pretty exclusive. There aren't many guys that can do that. They can say that. So it's pretty amazing. Anyway, there you go. That's your baseball fun for the day, right?
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. Oh, and by the way,
we talked a lot. We learned all about Doubleday Field. It's all exciting.
And by the way, Ichiro was a 10-time Gold Glove recipient his first 10 years in the majors.
Nice.
Yeah, so
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, he like I said, he could field, he could throw, he could hit. He was the guy. Yeah, pretty amazing. So, anyway, I pulled up a bunch of other baseball stuff. I have all the awards.
It's hard not to. You start digging through.
Yeah, you start digging through.
Yeah.
So my question, my trivia question was this.
All right.
I have multiple trivia questions today, by the way, but this is one of my trivia questions. There's only been 2 players in the history of Major League Baseball that have won the MVP in both leagues, the National League and the American League.
Yeah.
And who are those 2 guys? That was my question.
I'll be honest with you, I have not a clue.
Okay.
Because I don't know all the teams well enough.
Sure. One of them is super recent.
Super recent.
Super recent.
Like
as in he just accomplished the feat.
Freddie Freeman?
This last year.
Would it be Freddie Freeman?
It is not Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman won the National League MVP in 2020, by the way. But
okay.
he's only won 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Trying to think about guys who have recently because Tatis has only been with 1 team. I guess the problem is that's the kicker for me. Is like finding guys who've gone to 2 teams.
Right. Yeah, you got to know a guy who was on 2 different teams.
It's really recent, according to you.
I'm not. Yeah, when I say really recent. Last year. He won an MVP last year.
Wow, my gosh. Why is it just escaping me?
And we've already said his
who
name
we're
today.
Talking about. Oh,
on this show.
Talking about Shohei.
I'm talking about Shohei.
So okay, so the problem for me is that I can't wrap my head around the fact that the Dodgers and the Angels
Are indifferent.
Yeah. Like 100, like less than 50 miles apart.
Right. Yeah, Shohei won the American League MVP with the Angels in 21 and 23, and the National League MVP last year.
Okay.
And the only other one to do it, which you'll never get because it was a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and that's Frank Robinson.
Okay.
Frank Robinson played third base, but he won it with the Orioles. No, he won it with the Reds in 61. He hit 323 with 37 homers on 124 runs batted in. And then in 66 with the Orioles, he hit 316 with 49 home runs and 122 runs batted in. So
yeah,
he's a two-time winner, one in each league.
Fair enough.
Yeah, there you go. The only two guys. Anyway, there's your baseball trivia for the day. All right, I'm done. Okay, let's talk about the national championship, college football national championship game, Ohio State and Notre Dame. Ended kind of how I would have expected it. Ohio State definitely looked like the better team the entire game. Even though they kind of had a little letdown in the second half and let kind of Notre Dame kind of come back. But Notre Dame was a little lucky to get there, I guess. Let's call it that too, to get back into it at all. It was, 31-23 at one point. So it was an 8-point game. They were there. But you never felt like they were in control of it,
Right. Yeah. No. I think there was a brief moment where Notre Dame scored first. You went, all right, got to the end of one, and you were like, okay. And then after that, it was like, nah, it's toast.
An 18-play, 9-minute, 45-second drive to start the game with Riley Leonard running like 10 times of that. I think he rushed 10 times during that drive.
Yep.
And he was gassed. He was done. I think that had a lot to do with what happened in the second quarter. Because offensively, they were nothing after that until the late third quarter. So, they took almost the whole first quarter, went down and scored. They're up 7-0. Second quarter starts, and then it's Ohio State with a touchdown, Ohio State with a touchdown, Ohio State with a touchdown just before the half. And all of a sudden, it's 21-7 at the half. Third quarter comes out, Ohio State scores a touchdown, and they add another field goal, and it's 31-7 halfway through the third. And at that point, you go, I don't think this is going to happen. Notre Dame then scores at the end of the third, gets the 2, it's 31-15, but the next touchdown for Notre Dame comes with 4:15 left, and they couldn't, they kicked the ball and back to Ohio State. Ohio State drove down the field with 26 seconds left, kicks field goal. It's 34-23. So the game looked a lot closer than it actually was.
Ohio State didn't lose or didn't get within final scores 10 points of anyone.
Right.
They had 11 to Notre Dame, 14 to Texas, 20 to Oregon, and 20 something to Tennessee.
Yeah.
23 to Tennessee. So they did their job.
Yeah. Ohio State definitely was the best offensively. Was the best team in college football the last maybe after Michigan, after they lost to Michigan.
What I will say about Ohio State that seems I wish my team would do. Ohio State seems like they take chances on offense. Like they use all of their players, all of their personnel, and they take chances. It never feels boring when they're on offense. At least it didn't for the whole entire playoff run and quite a few games before that. They never feel boring on offense. Oregon would get boring on offense sometimes.
Yeah.
And that boring did not mean, boring, but you still scored. It was like, you just kind of ran two screens and
don't know what
got incomplete.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, well, that wasn't very fun.
Sometimes you just don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah. And Ohio State consistently, you kind of always knew that they would move the ball if an opportunity presented itself, they were capitalizing it every time.
Right.
So, and you didn't feel that way about a lot of other teams. So, I hate Ohio State so much. Who doesn't, right?
I mean, outside of Ohio, yeah. I mean, they got a big following. So they put out the final poll, and someone in the coaches poll is going to have to explain some shiza to me. But the final AP poll, not that it matters to anybody, but Ohio State 1, Notre Dame 2. That's because they played in the national championship. Oregon's 3, Texas, Penn State, Georgia, Arizona State, Boise State, Tennessee, Indiana rounds out the top 10. Somebody in the coaches poll, and multiple people, put Texas at number 3 ahead of Oregon. A 13-3 Texas team was somehow better than a team that beat the national champion during the regular season.
1-1 against the national champion.
Yeah. So I'm not sure how you justify that. You're from the SEC, maybe. I don't know.
Probably. That's exactly what it is.
But that's weird to me. So.
Well, at least Oregon gets to hang on to that Sweet, sweet Big Ten championship.
Hey, we have more titles since we've been in the league than Ohio State. More Big Ten championships.
Yeah, and
And
Ohio
anyone
State
else.
hasn't won a Big Ten championship
It's been a minute.
because they keep losing to Michigan.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I want to say it's been like 4 or 5 years, maybe 6.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
Oh, 2020 was their last year.
Oh, was it? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they won the Big
3
Ten
years,
Conference
4 years.
14, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So they did win it 3 years in a row, 17, 18, 19. Oh, 4 years in a row and 20.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that's what they've done. And they've won 2 titles. In the last 11 years, Ohio State has won 2 national titles.
Yep.
Not bad.
It's a good football team.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the Big Ten was pretty much the dominant conference this year. And I think that what you're seeing is the shift already from
The NIL
because
shift.
the NIL shift is changing the landscape of college football already. Now, granted, you still have blue bloods because
Yeah.
those programs produce more pro prospects. And if you're thinking about becoming a pro athlete, that's where you go. Yeah. But you also saw what this year: Arizona State, Boise State, Indiana, right? Those are teams that are not traditional powers by any stretch. SMU in there, BYU back in there. BYU used to be, but they haven't been a long time. So
Yeah.
you're seeing a lot of those teams, and I think you're going to see a more distribution because, hey, look, Carson Beck is now a Miami Hurricane, right?
Yeah.
Okay, if he can ever lift his arm again.
Carson Beck had to leave because Georgia wasn't going to start him next year.
That's probably true. Yeah.
Carson Beck was the reason they were a fringe good team this year. Like they should have been a great team, and they were a fringe good team because Carson Beck kept holding them back on offense. But he's a popular name. He dates a very popular person. Like his girlfriend's very, very popular.
Yeah.
It's all big money. And also Mario Cristobal, we know he loves to make mistakes at QBs.
And just in general.
Yeah. This is his Tyler Shuck at Miami.
Oh, good night. Yeah, it could be. Yeah. Anyway, so it was an entertaining game. I didn't watch the whole game. I'll be fair. When it was 31-7, I did turn away because I don't know. I didn't want to see it get uglier. And then
I didn't watch most of it. I was ice skating.
And then I watched the very end of like the last 7 minutes of it. So it did get a little exciting briefly, where you thought maybe Notre Dame can stop them, but now they couldn't stop them.
Well, they scored that final touchdown. There's like 4 minutes left.
Yeah.
And they got him to like a third and something, and then they gave up like a 60-yard pass.
Yeah.
And you went, well,
yeah,
that sucks.
That's over. Sorry, guys. Sorry for you guys.
I don't need to see anything else. Like, I mean, I was saying this about, and I know we're going to talk about the Chiefs Texans in a minute, but I was saying, like, how do you let Travis Kelce get open?
Right.
How do you do it? They got Xavier Worthy's only good for catching things 80 yards downfield. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And so I don't understand it. It's the same thing with Ohio State. They've got one good receiver. How do you let him get open?
They've got a couple of good receivers.
They've got a couple okay receivers and one good one.
All right.
And that guy, man, he is good. Do you think he should leave Ohio State?
I mean, depends on what he wants.
He's a freshman.
Depends on what he wants to do.
Depends on who Ohio State's quarterback is next year.
That's true, too. Does he think that guy's going to be able to get him the ball?
Are they going to grab another transfer?
Yep,
is
probably.
The question.
Everybody does. That's the way everything goes now.
I've heard the rumor is that Oregon's going to take one of their guys who's behind him. Like Dante Moore is going to be our quarterback next year.
I think that might be a good choice. I don't think that's a bad option. But what you see is these guys that were on teams like Missouri, Syracuse, right? That have led their team to a 10-win season or whatever. UNLV. Of course, that quarterback, their original quarterback, ditched the team, right? Because he didn't get what he was promised. Anyway, but those kind of quarterbacks from those middle good, let's call them, teams, are the ones that are going to move to the blue blood program. Because the infrastructure is there to win a national championship. All they need is me. That's what they think. Yeah. And so those are the guys that are moving around.
Is Chip Kelly going to get another head coaching job?
Will he? The question is, more importantly, will you think he'll take another head coaching job? I'm not certain that he wants to be a head coach because there's no pressure right now.
There really isn't. Yeah.
No. Yeah, he has no reason. I mean, he's played for a national championship as a head coach. No? Yeah, they played for a national championship as a head coach. He's won a national championship as an offensive coordinator. He's been in the NFL. I don't think he cares anymore. He just wants to go do what he does.
Chip Kelly has played or had teams in 2 national championships. He had Oregon in 2010, and now he's got Ohio State in 2014.
Right.
So he's been in 2 of them. Kind of interesting.
And a Division II, I think, with Maine. Or was it Maine? Isn't that where he came from?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, New Hampshire.
New Hampshire. Yeah. They played for
which
like
is
a Division
also
II.
where
Yeah.
Ryan Day came from.
There you go. And that's how they know each
Fun
other, right?
fact.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like the guy in line to start for Ohio State's Julian Sayin. He's an Alabama transfer. He was more specifically, he was an early enrollee at Alabama, and then Nick Saban retired. So then he transferred. And I have been a big proponent of this. If your coach leaves, you should get a free out.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if it's a coordinator.
I'm okay with that.
Like, assistant coach, like 4th assistant coach. No.
Right.
But an OC, a DC, a head coach.
Yeah. I'm okay with
like any of the major ones. Yeah. You need to be able to leave free of charge and start somewhere else right away.
Let's put it this way. If you're a defensive player, that's primarily your position, and the DC leaves or the head coach leaves, yes. If you're an offensive player and the OC leaves,
that's
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because just because the
Doesn't
offensive
matter,
coordinator leaves and you're a defensive lineman, no, that's not.
Yeah.
Okay. That's nothing to. Your defense is still your defense. So if the coach that's directly guiding your particular unit leaves, I could understand it.
Yeah, you need to be able to go somewhere else.
I'm okay, and I'm okay with that because I mean it's all garbage anyway now, right? Because who's the guy that went from Wisconsin now?
Was he transferred from Wisconsin?
So he signed. This is a mess. He left Wisconsin and enrolled in. God, I want to say Miami, but I don't think it's Miami. Just recently, and he had signed a quote unquote memorandum of understanding, which, okay.
What the fuck is that?
To stay at Wisconsin. It could be binding to stay at Wisconsin. And then something happened and he didn't like whatever it was and then he wanted to leave. And they wouldn't put him in the transfer portal because of that memorandum. So since that happened, he disenrolled and re-enrolled at another school. The NCAA says, hey, we don't have a rule now about that. It's legal to leave one school and enroll in another school and start playing immediately. That's okay. But if you've got a contract, if you've got something signed on paper saying you were going to stay, that becomes a legal thing. You know, that's a different level of thing. But that's what we're getting into. We're about to get into having representation.
Just why they need to be employees. You accept a job. I'm going to go accept a job at. You still have your eligibility period, but I'm going to go accept a job at Ohio State.
You're going to have contracts, and that's what's going to be. And that's the only way you're going to be able to do it right. I mean, otherwise people are just going to willy-nilly go wherever they go. But yeah, you're going to have a legal binding contract that says you will play for.
Okay. I'm reading about it right now. So apparently he entered into a binding 2-year NIL agreement.
That's what it was.
So he wasn't committed to playing football, but he was committed to playing football with regards to the NIL.
Right.
Like it wasn't a contract with the football team or with the school. It was with the NIL group.
Right.
Or I guess it was with Wisconsin Athletics, is what it says.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, that is a very quirky one. Well, I mean, hell, you have to go through these growing pains, right?
Yeah, those are gonna pop up. Yeah.
Could you imagine the first time somebody had to fire someone ever?
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 The first firing ever.
The first caveman to sit down to the next caveman, you go, you're no good.
Yeah, no, you gotta go.
No good. Leave.
You
Or like somebody looking at him like, can we do that?
Can
we just kick him out of here?
Find a different wheel making company. You gotta go.
Because you're all square. We don't like
not working.
Circles.
It's not working out the way we thought it would. Thag, you gotta go. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, that's awkward, right? It's an awkward conversation, but you got to go through the awkwardness to get to normal. But
yeah,
I don't know that this is ever going to get normal for quite a while.
It's gonna be a couple. I think give it about 6 years, and the schools will have found out how to properly insulate themselves from cavalier athletes.
The
athletes will have found out a way to properly insulate themselves from schools.
What I feel is going to happen is you're going to see more chaos in terms of weird teams getting into the college football playoff because now that it's 12 teams.
Well, sure.
And in the next 2 or 3 years, one of those teams is going to win the national championship. And then you're going to hear Ohio State and Texas and Georgia and Notre Dame go, oh, they shouldn't be allowed to be in here. They're not. They only got in because they're the 12 seed, and that's too many teams. That's what's going to happen. And they're going to cry because their conference and their teams are not winning anymore. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I did remember when they announced they were expanding to 12. I was like, Man, all right, 4-12.
It's a lot.
Oh, okay. I thought we were going to 8 with 5 conference
I think
champions
8
and
would have
3
been
at
better.
larges,
8
or
would have been
4
better.
conference champions. Yeah, that's what my thought was. So we went to 12 right away. I went, oh, geez, all right. If we're gonna do it, let's just do it. Feet first.
Yeah.
I think we've realized that that's a mistake. I think 8. I don't know if you can go back, but if you could go back, I would. I would do it this year. I'd go back to 8. I'd make what's it called? The automatic tie-ins for the 4 major conference champions.
Yep.
With 4 at-larges, being the next. Oh, I don't want to say the next 4 highest-ranked teams.
Nope, because the
But
rankings shouldn't
I
matter.
also kind of do.
Rankings shouldn't be a thing because rankings involves a human voting, and I don't like the humans telling you that, this particular group of humans says this team is better than that team. And
Well, that
it may not
being
be.
said, this year we got surprised when teams like Alabama didn't get in. Like there were a couple teams that we were like, "Oh crap!"
I think we knew that was coming because they had 3 losses. If they had 2 losses, they would have been in. There's no doubt. I mean, it's like a gimme. That third loss is what enabled voters to say we don't want them now.
But the surprise was that we expected people to screw it up and put Miami and Ohio and Alabama in. We expected it to happen, even though we knew it shouldn't because they had too many losses and Miami barely beat the teams they beat. We expected the screw up, and it didn't happen.
Well, because we got lucky.
We did get a little lucky with the right teams winning and things like that.
And by that I mean Clemson won, right? Clemson won the conference. Had SMU beat Clemson in the conference championship game, you're looking at an 11-1 SMU team, right? In the college football playoff, or 12-1. They would have been 12-1. Yeah, in the college football playoff, higher ranked than they were. Clemson wouldn't have got in, and then Alabama. That opens the door for Alabama or South Carolina or one of those other teams. We had the right combination of teams. Boise State was already occupying a spot. Arizona State winning and not being the best team necessarily. If BYU had won the conference with a better record, they would have been in automatically. That kind of thing. It just was the right, perfect storm, so to speak.
We just got to fix that seeding issue.
The seeding issue is terrible. You got to do something different. But you're not going to get away from it with 12 because you're still going to have those buys.
I think I'm not saying get rid of the buy. No, yeah, get rid of the freaking buys. Whatever. Like, I don't care. Like, first of all, Oregon doesn't need to wait a month between games.
No, that was bad.
Every team that waited more than 4 weeks lost.
But to be fair, Ohio State, after playing Michigan, didn't play in a conference championship game, so there was a week off.
Right.
And then had to wait another. They had 3 weeks before they played their first CFP game,
which was Tennessee, who also waited.
Right, but to be fair, you had 2 teams that were playing at the same. Had the same amount of rest, had the same amount of time off.
I hear what you're saying, but the numbers lean in favor of more rest. It would have been bad.
Yeah, it would have been much better had it been they had 16 teams or 8, and everybody played.
I'd be more cool with moving to a system where you play your first round home games, right? Your second round home games.
Home games, yeah.
And you put an extra week in between each two. So conference championships, let's say, are the first weekend in December.
Right.
2 weeks later, you play your first round game, home game for the top 6 teams.
Yeah.
Then you put 2 weeks in there. So right after Christmas, you'd be playing your second round game. I would do it a home game still. I'd do that. And then you put another week in there, and then you start your top 3 games, your final 3 games.
Yeah.
And that would start on January 1, give or take the time frame. You'd start on January 1 with the Rose Bowl and blah, blah, blah. And then your championship game is a week later, not 2 weeks later, a week later, and you're good.
The problem is the real problem is the money. It's the bowl tie-in money. That's the issue that's holding all this shit up. And I'll tell you, if you could just dump the bowls and go with college football playoff games that are separate from bowl games, you'd be better off. But they won't do that because now those schools that are traditional, the Cotton Bowl, the Rose Bowl, the Orange Bowl, who are used to having those games as part of their thing now, that's money. That's big money. And if I have to go find some other teams to play, it won't be nearly as big a deal.
Yeah, but you can make. What I'm thinking is, all right, let's just eliminate the Rose Bowl, right? They'll take the the first team not in the playoff from the Big Ten, the first team not in the playoff from the SEC. Fine, whatever. They're over there.
Okay.
But then you have 3 games, your final 3 games of the season, and in my scenario, are all just college football playoff games. They're not branded Rose, Fiesta, whatever.
Right.
Because then you can move it to places like
Yeah.
Glendale. You can move it to the Minnesota Stadium. You can move it to the LA Rams Stadium.
Las Vegas.
You can have some really cool games in some really cool places.
Agreed. And that would be wonderful. And you could spread it out around the country.
Yeah, and then it just doesn't have to be like, oh, well, we're hamstrung to the Rose Bowl and the New Orleans Superdome.
Why can't we watch? Part of it's regional. I mean, in that, Oregon's playing in the Rose Bowl, which I think it just kind of happened that way. It fell that way.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's also nice to have a West Coast team in the Rose Bowl. And then in this particular instance, it was Big Ten, Pac-10, right?
Kind of worked
the
out,
old school thing. Okay, that's great. But it would be cool to see, I don't know, I'm just going to throw 2 teams out here. Let's have Alabama and Syracuse go play in Minnesota at US Bank Stadium.
Yeah.
Because that's not a bowl game. That's not a bowl place. But it's indoor. It's controlled atmosphere.
You can do it there. Play at the Lions Stadium.
Yeah, play at Ford Field. Yep. Yeah. Nobody plays up north. And there are those stadiums where you could do that. And they don't. So I'm not saying anybody should go play outside at Lambeau, but that'd be awesome.
The only kicker I'll give them is that the NFL at that point of the season is in playoff push mode.
Agreed.
They might not be wanting to share their stadiums.
But I don't think it matters on a turf field. It would matter if you have natural grass.
Well, but it's not just the turf field. It's the locker rooms. It's the training rooms. It's the practice field.
I don't think there's any professional football town or stadium or organization that would tell you, no, you can't have that college football playoff game here on Saturday because we're playing on Sunday. They'll want the money. The money is huge, and they'll take it.
All right, here's a better question. Did that happen this year?
Somebody say no?
Did we have any or no, not say no, but did we have any games that were played on a stadium where the NFL played the next day?
I don't know the answer to that.
That's an interesting question because, the Rose Bowl, they don't play NFL games at, but like New Orleans, Sugar Bowl.
Yeah.
Who played in that game? Because that was the game that got postponed, right? Because the incident.
Yeah, wasn't that Georgia? And
that was. Yeah.
Yeah, Georgia and whoever they played. Who'd they play in that first game?
Georgia Notre Dame.
Yes.
Georgia Notre Dame on January 2nd.
Yes, that's the one.
So NFL January 2025.
Well, January 2nd. Well, the problem is January 1st was on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
This year. So no one was playing on Thursday.
No one was playing the next day.
Unless it was Thursday night football. Right.
Oh, so I see.
But if you play them on Saturdays like they normally do, and that's my other issue. Stop playing these games in the middle of the damn week. You play Saturday. Saturdays for college football. I know it doesn't coincide with your Christmas Day and your New Year's Day. I get it. But keep them on playing Saturdays.
I agree.
Then it'll keep on schedule. Your week
New Orleans was out of town.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so the only other
they were at
the Fiesta Bowl is the only other thing that could have happened. The Fiesta Bowl is played in Arizona at Glendale. So there's that.
Oh, who played in that game? Was that Boise State?
Yeah, I think that was
Penn State. Boise State, Penn State.
It was Fiesta Bowl, yep.
December 31st.
Right. But see, nobody played on January 1st.
Yeah, but did Arizona play at home? Now is what I'm getting at. Did Arizona
that weekend?
At home that weekend? And they did.
Yeah, see, there you go.
San Francisco played at Arizona on the 5th.
Right. The Rose Bowl's an empty stadium. The Cotton Bowl's an empty stadium. Nobody plays in those regularly, except UCLA plays in the Rose Bowl. But nobody plays home games, and no NFL teams play in those stadiums. They're empty all the time. The Orange Bowl does because they play that in Miami.
Okay. Actually, scratch what I said. Arizona played the day before, but at Los Angeles. So they played on the 28th.
Monday night.
Yeah. And then the next game was played the next day. Yeah. But then they played home a week later. Right. So it doesn't seem like it's an intentional scheduling thing, but I could see that being a reason why a team who is in a playoff position, like a Minnesota, like a Detroit, not that it helped either one of them, would decline intrusion into their space.
Right.
During their playoff push, especially when you consider the last game of the regular season was Minnesota at Detroit.
Yep.
Like it was the most important game ever.
It was.
Like, you wouldn't want you wouldn't want a bunch of college guys traipsing around your facilities,
But 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 by the
because
time
that's a 100 something man roster plus another 60 staff.
but by the time that game was played, by the time
It was
it was
6 days later.
the you only had two teams left in the college football playoff anyway.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
next
you're
national
right. You're
championship.
right.
It wouldn't have mattered. Yeah,
You're right. You're
yeah.
right. I hate that you're right, but you're right.
I feel like there's no good reason why it can't just stay on Saturday, and we could move it to all kinds of cool places. You're right. I agree with that. They should. It should be spread around the country. You know, those games. Sometimes you're going to get bad weather if you play outside. I get it, right?
But fun.
But it'll be more fun. Yeah. I mean, tell me that and let's move right into this. Will bring us right into the NFL. Tell me that it wasn't fun to watch snow in Philly and snow in Buffalo. And those are great. The Philly one was just coming down. We're gonna talk about that.
Two of my favorite games this season were Philly, Los Angeles in that game, and Buffalo when they played against. Who did they play in the snow a couple weeks ago? When Josh Allen had that diving touchdown and all this stuff,
and Denver,
he had the lateral. It wasn't Denver.
The week before.
It was either the week before or the week after. Yeah, it was. But either way, that game was like that's so cool.
Yeah, no, I like it when it's heavy snow.
Who does? Oh, maybe it was New York.
Hang on, we're talking about week 18, I think. So week 18 might have been week 17. They played the Patriots. They played the Patriots and lost in week 18. So I'm guessing it was week 17, which was around Christmas time. And, and that was Bills Jets. Yeah.
Yep. So that's who they were playing in that game. Gosh, that was such a cool game. But you're right.
Yeah.
Snow's amazing.
The snow is amazing.
To watch that.
So we had 4 games in the divisional round. Let's talk about the Chiefs and the Texans briefly. Chiefs end up winning and going to the AFC title game again. And I'm not overly thrilled with, like you mentioned earlier. Okay, so how does Travis Kelce get open when he's the only guy they really have?
So open.
He gets so open, and I'm like, I would have a dude. I would rather take 5-yard holding penalties all day, make them go down the field 20 different plays, right?
Yeah.
And just bottle him up and make him frustrated, than let him get open. Because if he gets open, he's number one, he's hard to bring down. But he catches everything that damn near comes near him. But he's a huge guy, and I'd rather have penalties. I'd rather have pass interference and holding penalties all day, and just not let him touch the football, because he'll get frustrated. NFL players, especially guys who are used to catching the football, they're going to get frustrated if they don't get a chance to catch the football, and they're going to get mad at you for holding them. They know it's illegal, but hey, I don't care. I'd rather you give up 5 yards on a first down than give up 20 yards on a chunk play, right?
I think that the problem is that you know who he is. And I think these guys, they line up across from him, or they know that that's the guy they're covering. And I think he's a deceptive talent. I think he's deceptively fast, deceptively agile, deceptively strong, because he kind of just looks like a big guy, that's all.
Yeah.
There's no crazy muscle definition. There's no barn burner speed. But then all of a sudden, you get a tad relaxed, and he cuts you up. And you're like, damn, how did he do that?
I feel like the answer is you need to have one man assigned to rough him up at the line of scrimmage on every play.
Yeah.
Regardless of where he lines up, regardless of whether it's a running play and he's blocking, it doesn't matter. You need to rough him up, knock him to the ground. That is your sole intention, is in the first 5 yards to knock him to the ground. After that, you let him go, because another guy is going to grab a hold of him, and you're man-to-man on him the rest of the way, that other guy. Once you've delayed the play by at least a second, once you've got him out, they've got him out of rhythm, because Patrick Mahomes is going to buy time. You need to delay him from getting into open space.
Yeah.
But that's what you got to do. But I don't think anybody really does that. Nobody goes out of their way to, we're going to put a spy on Travis Kelce. This guy is the guy.
He ended with 117. He only had 29 in the first half.
I don't know, man.
I think that he lures you to sleep, because you go like, oh, okay. I got him. I can catch back up to him. He's not that bad.
But also, if you give enough time, Patrick Mahomes does this crap where he falls to the ground and throws the ball on the way down. And it's just ridiculous that there's always a guy there.
I get in my head about Patrick Mahomes sometimes where I go, he's not that good. It's this or it's that, or it's this or it's that.
He's pretty good.
Every so often he reminds you with a left-handed pass or a pass like this, and you go, all right. He's got some of the best vision ever. He sees plays through, and he doesn't run that much.
Now, that being said, we also have to credit the referees for keeping drives alive for Kansas City. Um, there were a couple of questionable calls.
Did you dislike this call?
Yes, I did. He was runner, right? And I don't think that these guys made contact with themselves more than they made contact with Mahomes. I
Right.
didn't see a whole lot of forcible contact to Patrick Mahomes. He was sliding, okay, but he's a runner at that point. A quarterback
Right.
shouldn't get protection once he crosses the line of scrimmage. Sorry.
Well, we agree with that, but
Yeah,
they do have it.
it is what it is. I know, but what I'm getting at is if they didn't really hit him, and they were already moving towards him when he slid, because this is what the problem is in the NFL: is the late slide or the late dive out of bounds, right? Oh, I'm protected. I'm going to try and get 3 more yards. I'm going to try and scoot around you. I'm going to try and do this. I'm going to stick the ball out. I'm going to do everything I can to get 3 more yards. At the last minute, I'm going to either step out of bounds or I'm going to slide. That's got to stop. You either are or you aren't protected. I think once you cross the line of scrimmage with the ball, no matter who you are, you're no longer protected. You're just a runner. If you're behind the line, okay. I'm okay with you being protected as a quarterback. But once you cross the line, now you're trying to gain yardage. I should have every right to smack you down like I do anybody else. So yeah. But this one I didn't like necessarily. I didn't like either one of them. The other one where they called roughing the passer, and I don't think his helmet ever hit Mahomes' helmet.
Right.
I don't even understand what that was, but that was a garbage call too. And the only reason I say that is because later in the Lions-Commanders game, Jared Goff got his lunch handed to him on an interception return.
Right.
He just gets crushed. They didn't call it. They didn't
saw
call
what
that.
You saw. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't call that. I'm like, he's still a quarterback, is he not? I know he's a defender now, and that's what everyone's. Oh, he's now a defender. Yeah, but he's also a quarterback, and we protect quarterbacks in this league. If that had been Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes, there would have been a flag. There would have been.
It wouldn't have
No
negated the pick, but it
No.
would have been probably something.
Yes.
It's a tough one because I look at this hit, right, and I'm looking. This is a great freeze frame of it.
Yeah.
Because I'm seeing this one guy is trying to hit his head on Patrick Mahomes' head.
He's trying.
The guy on the right.
He's
He's trying. He's not doing a very good job. And attention is part of the gig.
I suppose.
Right.
But his buddy's not helping him either, because
his buddy's not helping him because his buddy's trying to hit Patrick Mahomes in the head with his arm.
Yeah, and so they end up hitting each other more than anything.
These guys screwed up trying to kill Patrick Mahomes.
Let's put it this way: they couldn't kill Patrick Mahomes. They couldn't even really put a good hit on him, and they still got flagged for a penalty.
Although I will say he's feet first. That's what you tell him to do.
Yeah.
He's going to the ground. He's giving himself up, and both of these guys are in what we would call in college targeting posture.
Yeah.
So the NFL is slowly adopting the targeting thing. That's why unnecessary roughnesses the last 2 years have gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. You don't even need the ball, which is why your Jared Goff thought process is fantastic. You don't even need the ball to get an unnecessary roughness call anymore if you do the right things. Yeah. This is NFL players who need to adjust. This play, I did not dislike as much. I was like, all right, they were clearly trying to take his head off.
But
just because you suck at your job doesn't mean that you were not trying to murder him.
But you still feel like every time it's close, it's going Kansas City's way. Not Patrick Mahomes. Kansas City is going to get the call, especially if it's third down. Especially if it's third down. Third down. And I couldn't get anybody open, and I threw a ball, and it was dropped. But there's holding because I extended the play an extra second. Defensive
pump
holding.
Your fist and move
Come
along.
on.
Yep.
And then you're like,
well, but they also had a pass to Travis Kelce that was a big 15-yard pass on first down that got called back because of offensive holding. And you're like, damn it. Like, I don't know. I don't think they called a ton of penalties in this game. And I think at this point, it starts to get in your head like, oh, they only call this or that.
I will tell you this. 8 penalties on Houston for 82 yards, 4 penalties on Kansas City for 29 yards. So, yes, the yardage is 63 yards or 53 yards in favor of Kansas City. It's not so much the number of penalties, it's when they happen. They extend drives almost every time for the offense for Kansas City. It's an extension of a drive that would have stalled, but we got a third down holding. We had a third down pass interference.
Well, that roughing the passer happened on first down.
Agreed. I didn't say they all were.
Unnecessary roughness happened on first down.
It just seems like that's when they happen.
Yeah. It seems like, and I think that it's easy to look at things and go, well, it was this, or it was that, and when that drive ends in it ends in a touchdown, you feel even more about it. But that penalty got enforced at the KC 19. They were just barely on the other side of the field. you still had another couple of plays to stop them.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, including an illegal shift penalty on them. 8, 9. You still had 9 more plays
Yeah.
to put an end to this.
It's true.
Like, at some point, yeah, the calls seem strange,
Yeah.
but also, you kind of got to do your job regardless.
True.
Look at me defending the Chiefs. Get out of here.
I don't know what you're doing.
This was after a couple weeks ago when I said that the refs made some questionable calls on that Raiders game.
Yeah. Well, there were some questionable calls. I mean, the whole year has been kind of that way. Let's be fair. It felt questionable all year. There's been some shit going on, and you're like, yeah. The roughing the passer, by the way, was a 3rd down and 8, right? It would have been
right?
Yeah, it would have been the end of a drive that ended in a field goal for Kansas City. So there's 3 points off the board, right there, right?
Yep.
And so and plus a whole bunch more time.
And took the ball to their own 48, and then you gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 8 plays. And you gave up 8 more plays.
It would have put more time on the clock too. Is the thing, you know what I mean?
It's true.
It's not just the one thing; it compounds itself. But
true.
yeah, I mean, Houston
the best
was
field position they got as a result of any penalty was the Houston 46.
Houston was their own worst enemy in the end, and just not being able to punch it in because they held the ball for a lot longer. Kansas City only had 212 yards of offense in this game.
Yeah.
Wow, 212 yards of offense, 14 first downs to Houston's 18, and
86 yards in penalties.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's a lot of those in penalties. So there's that. But anyway, it is what it is. Yeah, I don't know.
Chiefs defense is good, man. They find ways to win. They don't make a lot of penalties, and they play calm.
It's true. Their defense is a lot better than their offense is right now, to me.
Yeah.
But
this reminds me of the Broncos 2015. Our offense found ways to put up just enough points, and our defense really won the games.
But as long as you have Pat, I guess you're still in the game, no matter what.
There's a chance. Yep.
Yeah. As long as we got Taylor Swift on our side, we're still good.
Fair.
So I get tired of watching Taylor Swift. I just get tired of seeing her every time Travis Kelce catches the ball. I got to see Taylor Swift. I don't want to see that. Whatever.
Well, what if they showed Shania Twain?
Who didn't have any rooting or vested interest in the whole thing? Yeah, probably that'd be better.
But when they pan around the stadium, they show fans who have a rooting
and
or
that's
vested
fine,
interest.
but they don't show them again and again and again and again and again.
I don't know. If you watch the Raider game, they show those dudes with the spikes on their shoulders like 40 times.
That's not. And what's their names?
Raider fan 1, Raider fan 2.
They're just guys in the but they don't have. They're not famous people who have a connection to the team. They're just fans,
well,
and I'm okay with showing the fans.
Caitlin Clark up in the box. Like these are 2 of the most famous women in the world.
But Caitlin Clark wouldn't be there if Taylor Swift wasn't there. I'm going to tell you that. Right now. She wouldn't have been in that game, in that box. They wouldn't have panned to it. They might not even have known she was there, but I'm sure there was some publicity about it that she was going to be there.
She posted that she was going to the game.
There you go. Because Taylor invited her.
But so did 80,000 fans.
Right.
Like, people posted.
Everybody posted I was going to the game. Yeah.
But no, apparently a bunch of people like came after her for it, like, oh, you and Taylor Swift are besties, blah 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 blah. And she posted a bunch of pictures on her Instagram and stuff like that with her in Chiefs gear at like 2 years old.
No, that's true,
like
and that's
3
fine.
years old. Apparently, being from Iowa, who doesn't have a football team.
Sure. And I'm okay with that.
Her dad's favorite team growing up, and now they're her favorite team. And so when she went to she said she was going to this game, and she was going to sit in a different box.
Yes, I would have.
Somebody reached out to her and said, "Hey, you should come over here."
Yeah, see, that's the part I don't like. I don't mind her. She wants to go to the game. Here's my thing. I know you can afford to go sit in a box, and I know it's a tremendous experience. But if you're a true fan, go sit down in the fans. Go sit down with everybody else.
Oh man, hell with that.
No, go sit down.
I am a
you get a true
fan.
sporting
I would
experience.
In both spots, but you can bet your sweet buns.
Well,
I will be spending the first quarter down on the field and the second and third quarter up in the box.
But you don't do it all the time. That's my point. If you have enough money where you could do it all the time, why wouldn't you just go sit wherever you want to? Go sit with the fans. They would love it.
Well, they would. But here's the thing: people are crazy.
It's true.
And all you need is some 50-something-year-old beer-laden dude screaming at Taylor Swift because she decided to be a man of the people for a few minutes, and he's screaming, "Get off my sport!" Getting angry at her.
Well, I'm not saying you're not going to have. I'm not saying you're not going to have security occupying the 8 seats immediately around her.
Right. So you're in a box that is essentially in the.
But outside, you know what I mean? listen,
I get it, but there's no good spot for a person like that. Paul Rudd is a great example. Paul Rudd has regular season tickets. He has access to a box. He said once that it's not his box, but he has access to regular season tickets.
Yeah.
And he goes and sits in regular seats. And nobody really gives him too much crap. He's been a Chiefs fan all his life. Same thing with Eric Stone Street, the guy from Modern Family.
Yeah.
Chiefs fan all his life. They sit in regular seats.
Yeah.
Again, access to a box. Neither of them combined are as famous as Taylor Swift is.
Right.
And at this point, more hated, controversial, subjective than them. No one's yelling at Ant-Man.
Right.
But you would yell at Taylor Swift.
I'm not saying that Taylor Swift sits in the stands. What I'm saying is Caitlin Clark could have gone and sat in the stands, and no one, she wouldn't have been recognized like that.
No.
But once you put her in a box with Taylor Swift, absolutely.
I would argue that that's not true either because, well, first of all, she's like 6'6".
Agreed.
That's a tall woman. She's going to catch eyes.
She is going to catch eyes.
Yes. And then she's kind of a unique looking.
Okay.
There's not another basketball player that really looks like her. Dark hair, very distinct features. Like she's not like.
Agreed.
I don't think she's an ugly.
I'm just
about that, but
I'm just saying you could pick. You would notice Taylor Swift before you would notice Caitlin Clark if they were not standing.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? If they're sitting down and their heads are at the same height, I think you're going to notice Taylor Swift. You'll know who she is just by looking immediately, and you go, and that's Caitlin Clark.
I'd say you pick them both out about as.
I don't think it'd be
about as quick as one another.
If you're us and you know sports and you know Caitlin Clark, then yes. But the average fan,
I don't know that there's an average fan of sports who doesn't know who Caitlin Clark is. Also, let's not forget this was in Kansas City. This is in the Midwest.
This is football. This is football game. It's not a basketball game where you see someone at 6'6" and you go, oh, maybe they're a basketball player. You don't think that way. You don't think like that when you're at a football game. You don't think you're going to see professional basketball players sitting in the stands at a football game. That's just not normal, right?
I would agree that if I'm sitting in the 300s and some tall lady just walks up and sits down, I go, yeah, it's probably not Caitlin Clark.
That's weird, right? Yeah.
Yeah, she kind of looks like her. That's probably not her. Yeah. Because why on earth would Caitlin Clark be in the 300s? Right. However, if I'm sitting between the 30s in the 100s and a tall woman comes and walks and sits down, I go, these are expensive seats to begin with.
Yeah, but what are you doing in them?
In this scenario, I stole them. But,
okay, all right.
But I would be like, there's a chance that's someone important.
So, yeah.
Honestly, I think walking-wise, I would notice Caitlin Clark mostly because of height, right? And hair color. Her hair is really dark. And before I noticed Taylor Swift, but face-wise, I think you're 1,000% right. Taylor Swift would catch your eye first.
Yeah. And I don't. If I ever, was in that particular position, being the sports fan that I am, number one, maybe I would go sit in a box. All right, maybe I would, but I would also go, hey, section 114, I'm buying everyone a hot dog right now, the whole section. Let's just everybody gets one. Go take one down. If they don't want one, hand it to the next person. But whatever. But just I'm buying 147 hot dogs or whatever's in that section. Go down there and start handing them out.
That's
right?
Fair.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you? It's nothing. I mean, that's literally a drop in the bucket of your money. So do something awesome like that. I'm sure there's, we give to charity and we do this. I get it, but you're in the middle of a football game. You show the rest of those fans that you're an actual fan of those fans being there, not just of your boyfriend being at the game.
Put on the black hole shoulder pads and
get down there. Paint. Yeah, I don't know.
I see what you're saying, but I've often said that if I had money beyond belief, I'd have 2 tickets to every game. One would be in a box, one would be down low, and I would do it exactly what I said. First quarter, field level. Get a vibe. I might just stay down there. We'll see. No, but I would probably pop up to the box and eat some food.
I would walk down to the section that's near the field, right? And I would hand the box ticket to somebody and go, here, go to my box. It's up there, and go eat and go have fun and enjoy it. Because you might never get a chance to do that again, but you should go. You've been down here, or go find a season ticket holder. Get a hold of the team and say, "Hey, who's been a season ticket holder? Like, where are their seats? Let me go find them. Here's a box seat. Go sit up there for
Taylor Swift did that.
There you go.
Something very similar. She saw some lady walking around the concourse, older lady, I think like in her 80s is what it was, and she had this like vintage jacket on. Taylor Swift, like, I love your jacket, like fantastic, blah blah blah. I think. The way I'm hearing it is that she probably, like the way I'm putting it together, she probably was walking around the club level to begin with. Because, like, I can't I can't imagine that Taylor Swift is walking around the regular concourse.
She wasn't waiting in line at the concession stand.
Right, exactly. So she probably saw her somewhere like that and was like, "I love your jacket. Do you want to come join us?" And her husband went and joined. At that time, it wasn't Caitlin Clark. It was months ago. It was like Taylor Swift and a couple other big celebrities were in there.
Yeah.
And it's like this. I mean, sure, the 80-year-old probably doesn't know who half those people are, but still,
But it's fun, probably.
But
Have
it's
a good time
cool.
with it,
Like
right?
this
It is
person
cool.
just invited you into a box.
Absolutely do that.
I think that would be a cool one to be.
Yeah.
Because I mean, who's gonna stop Taylor Swift from bringing somebody into her box? Are you gonna be the security guard that looks at Taylor and goes, "Where's her ticket?"
No, I would absolutely buy the whole box, right? However many seats, however many people are entitled to come in the box, and I would go downstairs and I would start handing them out. Here's
cool.
2 tickets to you. Here's 2 tickets to you. Here, you just go upstairs to the box, and just sit down there in their seats and say, "Here I am," and let's go. And then everybody else in this section, guess what? We're all getting a T-shirt.
Yeah, but the problem is that people aren't cool anymore. If she did that, everyone would view it as a publicity stunt.
They would too. Yeah,
And you wouldn't, even if she meant
angle?
it in, yeah. What? Oh, you're just trying to get pictures on, like, blah blah blah. Like, no one would view it legitimately. Also, can you guarantee that the guy? I mean, you'd have to have a whole like 2-3 rows worth of like plants, people who were there that you knew specifically to not bother Taylor Swift.
Imposter fans.
Could you imagine if I'm just sitting in a seat and this lady goes, excuse me, coming through with her nachos,
yeah,
and then pops a squat, and I look to my left and it's Taylor Swift?
Yeah, right.
Like, I would not enjoy the game. I'd be nervous as hell for the next.
I don't know why.
4 quarters. It's Taylor freaking Swift.
She's just a person.
To quote Chris Rock, she could crush me with her wallet. Like,
yeah,
I'm so nervous.
I don't know. All right, let's
we gotta move on.
Let's finish the 3 things we got left here. The Lions laid the biggest egg in NFC history, maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
I think the whole NFC North was.
They could not stop the
so
Commanders.
Disappointing.
They could not stop them. Jared Goff was just off all game. He did throw 3 interceptions. One of those was forcing it at the end. I get that, but he was just not quite right. And it was after Detroit, when they got the ball, drove down and scored. Right, Washington couldn't do anything with it. Detroit goes down. Jahmyr Gibbs runs in there for that touchdown. I'm like, oh yeah, Detroit's off and running. This is gonna be good. And then it was never their game anymore after that.
Downhill from there.
They went back ahead 14-10 in the second quarter, but you felt like Washington was going down to score every single time they touched the football, and it just they could not stop them running or throwing. Jaden Daniels was tremendous.
He was
in the game. 22.
Too bad this doesn't count for Rookie of the Year, and I'll be honest with you, it probably does. More than people will ever admit.
Yep.
But unless those votes are already cast. But if it doesn't, like, this is in people's heads now. That was a hell of a performance.
It really was.
Yeah.
You didn't see the connection with the wide receivers. I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown had 137 yards receiving and 8 catches. Don't get me wrong, but it just didn't seem right. They seemed like they were empty yards most of the time. There was the big play that you're used to seeing from Detroit. Jamison Williams ran 61 yards for a touchdown to make it 24-21 and bring it back in the second quarter, right? And then immediately Washington goes right back down the field, 7 plays, 7 yards in 2 minutes and 15 seconds, and took the lead right back. And so you just never felt like it was theirs to win. They just felt like they were playing from behind the whole game. And I don't know. I never got a great feeling from Detroit. And there's Jared Goff getting up from that beatdown. Yeah. He just got crushed. I mean, he got his lunch just handed to him.
They were so interesting to watch because they started with a punt. Then they had they drove full field or a touchdown.
Yeah.
Then they drove most of the field, fumble. Then they drove the whole field, touchdown.
Yeah.
And then they threw a pick 6, and then they drove the whole field, touchdown. And it's like you're either giving the ball away or you're scoring with it.
But you can't.
All you're doing.
You can't give up 45 points in 3 quarters, no less, because Washington didn't score in the third quarter. They gave up 45 points in 3 quarters and expect to win a football game. I don't care who you are.
Well, I mean, seven of those was on the pick 6.
It's true.
But yes, but the rest of it is
okay. 38.
Because
you gave up 38
pick 6 isn't just you gave up 38 because a pick 6 isn't just It's a 14-point swing. It's 7 for you and 7 for them. Like that's huge. And the fumble I think was a bigger issue. Him fumbling, Jared Goff fumbling the ball at the Washington 25. That was huge because then they took that and they scored off of it, and
Yeah.
now you were playing from behind for not the rest of the game because you scored an extra drive, but it was just a problem from there.
Well, and that,
But you gave up 14 points in a row between their touchdown and your pick six.
what I'm saying is like this:
Boom.
Detroit had 521 yards of offense and 30
Yeah.
first downs, but
Yeah.
5 turnovers.
Five
And
turnovers.
the turnovers were
The
so
pick was inexcusable.
inexcusable. Yeah, it was.
There's no real. I mean, fumbles are tough because, like, from a quarterback standpoint, because they're getting
Everybody
crushed.
fumbles.
Holding on to a football stuff. They're not supposed to get crushed. Like
Right.
they're not designed for that.
Well,
So
yeah,
a quarterback who fumbles the ball, like when they get hit,
yeah,
I kind of go like that sucks. If you do it
Yeah.
all the time, I get a little more concerned about your
Right.
body positioning. But Jared Goff does not fumble the ball that often
Right.
from the quarterback spot. But you can't throw those picks, and you can't throw pick sixes. Although, gotta give him credit, he tried to stop it.
he tried.
He
did. He got
he
in
put
there. He was
every
mixing it
ounce of
up.
effort that he had into that stopping that,
Ugh.
and he didn't. But guess
Yeah.
what he did do is moments after they scored that, he came right out and drove them down.
He did.
73 yards in a minute and 24. He scored a touchdown.
He did. He absolutely did.
He clearly didn't let it affect him.
Right. And the other interception at the back of the end zone was just a good defensive play cutting in front of the ball, but it was a little underthrown. He had, I mean, it needed more zip on it, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, they had red zone turnovers.
Yeah, red zone turnovers will kill you.
They had 2 red zone turnovers and a pick six. Like those, that's at least 6. If you don't throw the pick six, right? Let's just say that you had to drive them out to nothing, but you don't throw the pick six, and you manage to get 3 points off of each of those drives.
You're right there.
You're winning this game, right?
Yeah, you're right there. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
The part that I guess gets me is that you go into halftime down 10, and you got to feel like, okay, they played really good. There's no way that they're going to play that good. We're going to make some adjustments. We're going to hold them to less points, which they did. The problem was their offense couldn't do anything at that point. They run down and score the 1 touchdown in the third, right? 11 plays, 91 yards, 6 minutes. Okay, looks good. We're back in the game, 31-28. And then nothing happens. Washington gets the ball and takes a 15-play drive, and you could not stop them. 8:28, they run off the clock to score in the fourth quarter. They go back up 10, and then immediately you give the ball back to them. That turnover was big. And then they go right back, 8 plays, 66 yards. We're going to score again, and now they're up 17, and the game is over at that point with 7.5 minutes left. I know they could have come back from 17, but they weren't going to. You've only scored 7 the whole second half. What makes you think you're going to score 17 in the last 7 minutes?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it just felt bad. They just didn't look right. Their offense had some plays. They had time. They had drives, but the turnovers were just killed them.
Just killed them.
Killed them.
I said to Austin after this game, I was like, hey, the Commanders are gonna Jay Nail's gonna pull a Joe Burrow, right? Another LSU quarterback. He's gonna get to the Super Bowl in his first real year.
Yeah,
and then it's gonna be all downhill from there.
After that.
Like it just feels like he's got a little bit of an element of surprise. The Detroit did pretty good of keeping him contained. He still had 51 rushing yards, but they did a pretty good job of not letting it impact him too often. He had 16 carries for 51, and his longest was 15, which means he had 15 carries
for 30 yards.
For 30, yeah. So it's like, all right. So they did a pretty good job of limiting how much he hurt them.
But to be fair, everybody else, I mean, he's everybody else hurt them. So
Brian Robinson Austin Eckler put it together in those final couple drives.
Yeah.
Dude, what a good deal for him. He left the Chargers, and now he's gonna play in a divisional championship or a championship.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a good game to watch. It just, you felt your heart breaking for Jared Goff.
Yep.
And for the Lions,
all the whole Lions team. Yeah.
That you were like, because it's not like the Commanders are bad guys, but you still were rooting for them.
I was rooting for Detroit and Buffalo to be in the Super Bowl so that one of them could win a first Super Bowl.
First Super Bowl, yeah, that's exactly right.
And now my hope is Buffalo.
And now my hope is Buffalo.
I mean, I don't mind if Washington wins. I'm okay if Washington gets in there and wins it now. Because Detroit's out.
Oh,
I don't want to see
Kansas City, Washington. I'm Washington.
If this game becomes if the Super Bowl becomes Kansas City, Philly, there's a chance I don't even watch it. I'll be honest. I don't want to see those two teams play the Super Bowl. I don't care. They've been there. They've done that. I don't care. I don't want to see that again. So, but anyway, we'll see what happens. Let's go.
Philly. Well.
Oh, I don't know what's going on. going on. My Skype connection's bad. How about you're here? I can hear you. Can you hear me? Well, what just happened with it? Can you not hear me at all? No, he had to go back out. He's coming back in. Give us a second, folks. We're experiencing a little technical difficulty. This is the problem with Skype and an internet connection. Sometimes, things happen. And we've had some weird crap going on around here in terms of our internet connection. So I'm kind of expecting him to call back in at any minute, and we'll finish this up real quick. But I haven't gotten the call. So just waiting for that to happen. Give us 1 second. Interesting. Well, Skype doesn't want to seem to work. I don't know if I need to close it out and open it back up. I don't know. We got, more IT than I want to deal with at this point. Oh, it's trying to connect. It's just not doing a very good job. The internet has gone out at my house, and that's what the problem is. So my internet is red. I can see it right now. So that one's on me. So not much I can do about that at this point. So we're hoping that it'll ring back in, but I don't think it's gonna. Nope, I think we're kind of toast here. Let me see if I can do it this way. Come on. Nothing ever works when you want it to. Hey, can you hear me?
Hey, did it come through just now?
Yeah, I just did finally.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, our internet actually went out.
Oh, that explains it because it was
Yeah.
like, hey, David's not online.
No, our internet just went out. I
Dude,
just noticed
at
that
10 o'clock on the dot.
our Wi-Fi thing just went red, doop, and it was gone. And I was like, oh, what the heck?
Oh.
It's a thing. Anyway, but anyway.
It'll be like that.
So anyway, Lions lose it.
Yep, that'll be like that. Lions got to do better.
But then you had the Eagles-Rams game, right? And that was the most visually appealing snow game. I like those kind of snow games. I do. I love that thing.
Gosh, that was so cool.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I thought the Eagles were going to run away and hide with this one, and they didn't exactly, although Saquon Barkley did try 205 yards and 2 touchdowns. But the Rams hung around. The Rams were there until the fourth quarter when they just started giving up field goal. And they couldn't do anything with it.
Saquon is so good.
That 78-yard run at the end is what sealed it, let's be fair.
Yeah.
But up until that point, the Rams were still in it. Only down 7 in the fourth quarter with 6 minutes to go. But the snow was awesome. And I just love watching how thick it got so fast, because even the first, quarter and a half, there wasn't much. It was barely snowing. There wasn't much, and then all of a sudden, there it was. So.
I remember peeking in and being like, oh, there's some snowfall. It's all right. Yeah. Well, and then I looked back later and like, holy crap.
There's a picture here from the first quarter. And it was, I'm not shared with you now, right? Huh? So there's a picture here from the first quarter, and it was, there's no snow. You can see everybody. It was all crystal clear. But later in the game, boy, woo!
It turned up, yeah.
Was that awesome? So,
but man, it made it cool. It made it fun to watch, and it's unfortunate the Rams couldn't pull that game out.
Yeah,
because it was close enough to where they might have been able to.
Yeah, they were right there. They were definitely in the game. Rams had more yards than Philly. They had more first downs than Philly. But again, 2 turnovers. Turnovers are good in the playoffs. So turnovers are bad. But Saquon Barkley ran. Let's be fair with Saquon Barkley, who had 205 yards rushing, but 140 of them were on 2 plays. So, so he had 24 carries for 60 yards, and then those 2 plays.
Sounds about right.
So yeah, that was the Rams just not being able to stop. And then you had to start with, you got Jalen Hurts and his freaking 44-yard run. So you had 3 gigantic touchdown runs, and that's what pretty much did them in.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But it's a good season for the Rams. I mean, you won the division. Barely.
Do you remember we were talking about the Eagles because they were like 1-4?
Yeah. They're good.
We were like, is this the end of them? And then here they are.
They're good. They put it all together and became a legitimate team. They barely won this one, and but they get the home game for the NFC Championship, so that's nice, right? Commanders, Eagles.
It won't bother the Commanders that much because, I mean,
Yeah.
if it's snowing, I don't know what the weather's supposed to be like in Philly.
I don't either. Let's figure that
Ooh.
out.
See, we got to get that weather report. Ooh, it's 19 degrees there. Ooh, oh, it's going to be snowing on Sunday.
Yay! Are they playing on Sunday?
It might be a
sometimes they play on
Saturday
Saturday,
thing.
right? Yeah.
Well, but I
So
thought this late in the season. Well, no, because there's the 2 weeks off.
they used to,
126.
so they used to play.
Yeah, that's Sunday.
They're both playing on Sunday. Yeah, there's a 12.
So 126. There's a chance of snow.
12 o'clock Pacific, 1 o'clock Mountain in Philadelphia for the NFC Championship game, and then the AFC Championship game is 3:30 Pacific, 4:30 Mountain. There you go. If you live in the mountain,
it's gonna be chilly. It's gonna be around 38 degrees.
Yeah, it should be interesting. In Kansas City too.
Yeah,
same.
Oh, Kansas City cold. I feel like is a different level of cold.
Yeah. You know what you know what I found out this weekend over the weekend, and I didn't realize it. I guess that the Super Bowl's on Fox this year. Yeah, Super Bowl's on Fox. And what bothers me about that is, guess who the number one broadcast team is on Fox?
Is it Tom Brady?
It's Tom Brady. I do not want to hear Tom Brady doing the Super Bowl, but he's going to be doing the Super Bowl.
Damn it!
I know, right? That's what I said. He's not terrible, but he hasn't rounded. This is his first season doing this kind of stuff. And you've got him doing the Super Bowl because he's of his name. I get it. But I just don't think, I don't like, he still doesn't quite come across as polished, and his voice grates on me after a while. And you heard what he said, I don't know, when he was talking about a team that he was talking about the Saints in the Buccaneers game at the end of the season, where they were doing that game, and the Saints are in a position I've never been in. They've got nothing to play for.
Yeah.
I'm like,
You felt like he was.
Up.
Yeah.
Just stop bragging. And Jetta, and just, anyway, but he's that kind of guy, and he just grates on me a little bit, and I just don't want to see him in the Super Bowl. I don't want to hear his voice. Why can't Jim Nantz and Tony Romo do every game? Because
every game,
every game. I don't even mind Troy Aikman and Joe Buck. They're okay too.
I would love a Joe Buck, Tony Romo.
That would be
combo. Because Joe Buck's got my favorite voice of all of them.
Yeah.
And Tony Romo's by head and shoulders above everyone else the best commentator. So I would love that grouping. That would be a good one.
You know who has like Greg Olson? When you watch Greg Olson do Fox games, he's got a lot of energy. I'll give him that.
Lots of it.
But it's not.
It sounds weird.
It sounds weird. It's just like he's like, you could tell he still wants to be playing. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what you hear in it.
He's excited about it, and you're like, okay, settle down.
Anyway, last game for the divisional games was Bills Ravens, which I expect it ended up being close, but I thought the Bills were going to run away with this one too. The Ravens kept in there and managed to make a game out of it, 27-20. I guess they were never really out of it, but they seemed to stall at some point in the third quarter when they had made a little bit of a comeback. It was 21-10 Buffalo at the half, and I said, "Oh man, they're firing. This is it, right?" They scored that last Josh Allen touchdown before the half, 16 seconds left. Right? Okay, great. And then Baltimore just kind of comes out and does what Baltimore does and plays defense and scores a field goal and a touchdown.
Takes you down a notch.
Pretty soon it's 21-19, and then that's where Baltimore kind of let it slip away. The two field goals kind of did them in, and then they score really, really late. But they did have a chance to go for two. Who do you feel sorry for in this game? It's Mark Andrews.
Do you feel sorry for him?
Oh my God, he had a fumble in the second quarter. Was it second quarter?
It was early in the game, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was in the second quarter. He got a ball knocked out of his hands that led to
a pretty good catch too.
That led to a Buffalo touchdown, and then he dropped that 2-point conversion at the end. That was huge because that ties the game. I mean, now we're talking about Buffalo with 1:30 trying to go down and kick a field goal. Who knows? It might go to overtime. Anything can happen. But just flat out dropped the ball. Just couldn't catch it.
Wait, no. Mark Andrews fumbled it in the this would be the fourth quarter.
Was it the fourth quarter when that happened?
8:50 left. Lamar Jackson deep pass to Mark Andrews to the Buffalo 44 for 16 yards.
So that led to a field goal. That led to a Buffalo field goal. So he was 3 points they gave Buffalo for the turnover, and then that's 2 points on the conversion he couldn't get. There's 5 points. You win the football game. If.
But all I'm saying is Lamar Jackson had 6 carries for 39 yards.
Yeah.
He's not your best runner on the team, right?
I,
Sure, that's Derrick Henry. I'm fine with that. But how does he not have 20 carries? I just
I,
saw a stat a few minutes ago that said that, oh my gosh, Jaden Daniels had 16.
I yeah. I will tell you
Like,
this.
how is Lamar Jackson not carrying the ball more?
He didn't. He wanted to throw the ball more this year. That was his thing, right?
Yeah, I
He,
get it. Didn't work
and you
out.
got Derrick Henry to run the
You do
football.
have Derrick Henry, and that is huge. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me just say this, and I didn't officially look at all these stats for all 4 games, but what I'm going to say is, and I think this is correct, in all 4 of these games, the team that lost had more total yards and more first downs than the team that won. But they also had more turnovers.
Turnovers.
The turnovers were the key. So in this one, Baltimore 3, Buffalo 0 on the turnover margin. But in the other, totally. I got to go back. Now I got to go back and I got to go look because I feel like it's true. Let me go here and look, because no turnovers in the Kansas City Houston game. There were no turnovers. So that one's kind of ruins my deal. But Commanders Lions, for sure, Lions had 5 turnovers and more yards. And then the Eagles Rams, the Rams had the only 2 turnovers and more yards than Philadelphia. Yeah. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's cool though.
That's why you felt the games were closer, because the other team had the ball. They were moving the ball. They just turned it over at the wrong time, and that's what led to the win for everybody. And I don't know. Anyway, so what that sets up is conference championship games, like we said, next weekend, or this coming weekend, sorry, on Sunday, both games. Fox is NFC. That's Eagles Commanders. If you want to listen to Tom Brady, more power to you. I'll still watch it. I'll probably put it on mute, but I'll watch it.
Just do your own commentary.
I could do that. And then the Chiefs Bills is the premier game. That's the late game, and that's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to that game so much. I'm afraid I'm going to be disappointed, because you know that I'm going to see Taylor Swift, and I'm going to see a bad penalty call, and the Bills are going to lose somehow, and then I'll just walk away from the weekend going, it was a disaster.
You know who else is going to be at that game? Haley Steinfeld.
Oh, good.
It's Josh Allen's girlfriend.
Oh, good.
She's she's in Pitch Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the girl in Pitch Perfect, and she was in one of the Marvel movies recently.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's a pretty big deal. She's a pretty big deal.
She's not that big a deal.
She's not Taylor Swift level big deal.
She's not Taylor Swift big, no.
But she's a big deal.
Yeah. She's a
big
deal.
No, I'm rooting for Josh Allen 1,000%. And it's not just because I hate the Chiefs, but I just really, 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 really want to see Josh Allen get a little credit.
I would too. It's because if they lose this game, they're going to go. The rhetoric is going to come out again next year that they're great, but they can't win that game. They can't get over the hump. But if they can beat the Chiefs and get into the Super Bowl, it will be a huge step in the right direction, even if they lose the Super Bowl, which they've lost 4 of. Buffalo, looking at you guys, Jim Kelly. But they never won a Super Bowl, and so to have another chance to win one, I think the Bills fans thought it'd be a long time coming. It's been 30 years since they've been to the Super Bowl, so there's that. The Commanders, it's been about that long too, I think.
Yeah, freaking Commanders.
Yeah, but the Eagles and Chiefs, I don't want to see you guys in the Super Bowl. Sorry, nothing against you, really. I do have something against the Chiefs. I don't really have anything against the Eagles. I don't want to see you guys in the Super Bowl. Sorry.
That's fair.
I would rather watch Jaden Daniels and Josh Allen fight it out. I think that'd be a good football game.
I do. I think no matter who comes out of the NFC, I'm not going to be too upset by it. I'd rather it not be Philly, but I don't have a ton of beef against either of those teams. I just don't want the Chiefs. As long as it's not the Chiefs, I'll feel okay about whatever I'm seeing.
All that being said, if I had money to put on the games, I would bet on the Chiefs and the Eagles.
Same. Well, I'm giving it to them.
I'm going to be optimistic and go, yeah, Bills, you're a 2-point underdog, right? Okay, that's good. You're probably going to lose. So there's that. But it is what it is. So, yeah, I don't know. And then, of course, you can get away from the officials, because this happened already. So.
Oh, jeez.
I'm sure that's going to happen again. But we'll see. I mean, we'll see. Maybe it won't. Maybe the NFL gets the NFL. Here's my problem. If the NFL has to come out and explain, if there has to be a guy from the office to explain the calls on the field,
yes,
you're doing it wrong. There's something wrong.
Well,
Come on.
It just means that there's questions.
What?
Well, no,
Yeah. What?
it's he doesn't have to explain it, but people demand answers.
That's why what I'm saying is, there's enough appearance of impropriety that you feel like you have to defend yourself if you
Yeah,
come out and
but
make
we
the
say the
comments.
same thing about baseball.
Oh yeah, it's
It's
true.
all just
But
extremely subjective.
but
Contact to one person. By the way, okay. Side note: Austin and I bought ice skates. We're learning to become hockey players.
are you
As a
though?
side note, yeah, we are. As a
Okay,
side note, we're learning to become hockey refs to make a side income.
that's a good idea.
You're right. There's not a ton of them. It's not crazy high. I mean,
I
it's enough in demand. I don't know anybody who does it.
I feel like it's a great plan until you get hit by a puck. But all right, go.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll wear a cage. But Austin is reading the rule book, and in the NHL rule book, and this is something that I haven't seen in the NCAA, NFL, or NBA rule book, which is the phrase competitive contact. They talk about contact. Not all contact is equal, and there
Right.
is such a thing as competitive contact, which is
Sure.
contact made in the effort of a play or a move that is legal.
Right.
Right. And so that's where like hockey gets into like you have guys crashing into each other, which to the unknown person or to a person who doesn't watch it goes, oh, damn, they just crushed him. Why would they do that? But the referees don't blow a whistle on it because it's competitive contact.
Going after the puck in the corner.
They're making
Trying to
a
make an
good
effort
move.
to
I think
get
the
to the play.
NFL and the NBA need to adopt that
I-
phrase, competitive contact. If I'm not trying to foul you, like a high stick or like a trip, if I'm not trying to drop the crown of my helmet to hit your head, you shouldn't be flagging me for hitting me.
Right.
Like that sort of thing.
I'm
So
okay with
competitive
that.
contact is a phrase I think that both those rule books need to adopt.
And I'll tell you why it's in the NHL rulebook and not in the others.
Because it's made in Canada.
Well, okay,
Maybe.
but also I think that they allow a certain amount of fighting that they don't allow in the other ones, which we know is not. You're going to get a penalty for it, right?
Yeah.
But they allow a certain amount of tussling before they even call a fighting penalty, a roughing penalty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They allow you to push each other. You might even need to each get a punch in before they even send you to a box. You know, they allow a certain amount of physicality that isn't related to competitive. It's just you being angry with the other guy. They allow you to get that out of your system, which is kind of nice because if they allowed the football players to do that, one-on-one fights until someone gains an advantage, and as long as you're not swinging your helmet at some guy or his own helmet,
or his own helmet,
then I think
I just need to see competitive effort and
right.
Helmets hit. We're standing up sometimes. It happens like especially with college. I see targeting calls that are not called and I don't understand it. And I see ones that are called that I completely don't understand. And I'm like, "Oh, well, I mean, it's this, it's that." There's so much subjectiveness to it. But see that's why the NFL has to explain themselves is because of that subjectiveness. Because one ref sees it this way, another ref wouldn't have thrown that flag. One ref calls this strike, another ref wouldn't have. Like it's all subjective.
It's funny because the same I like and dislike the same thing about the NFL refereeing structure or the way they do it. When they do their little powwow and get together to discuss it, I hate that. And yet it's the only I would like to hear it. Yeah, I would absolutely love to hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's the only way to make sure you get all the angles and you get the right call. Let's be fair, right? Because there's three different eyes see it differently, right? And if two of the three see this, then it's probably the right call. But that's the only way to get the right call, but it also looks improper when it happens. You know what I mean? Oh, we're going to throw a flag, or we don't throw a flag. We blow the whistle, we stop the clock, and then we go over and talk about what just happened. Yeah. Why do we need to talk about it? It is or it isn't holding. You saw or you did not see holding. If you saw it, you threw the flag and you called it, right? Or pass interference or whatever. If you threw the flag, the only legitimate reasons for picking up a flag and saying, hey, there is no foul for this is the ball was tipped. Or there's no pass interference because the ball was tipped, right? That's legitimate. Or the ball was dead because this, so there can't be a further penalty for whatever.
Because of that,
because we were supposed to have blown the play dead, something like that. But there's no other good reason to be pulling up a flag. You saw what you saw and you threw a flag. You thought it was a penalty. There should be a call.
Fair.
Don't pull it up and go, oh, we're waving this off, because that just looks wrong. And so, yeah, and when you get together and huddle and it always goes for Kansas City, that looks wrong too.
Yeah, that it never helps when every time you come on and talk, it's always for them.
Yeah.
All right. So maybe what we need. I know you haven't. Have you been to a NASCAR race?
I have not ever been to a NASCAR race now.
So you can buy these headsets where
Yeah.
you can tune into the different pit channels,
Yeah, it's cool.
and you can tune into like the like officials channel.
Oh, gotcha.
So there's a bunch of ways to do it. They need something like that for for the NFL where I can tune in to the NFL's channel so I can hear what's being said. Because the lack of accountability for it,
Right.
like we don't know what they're talking about. We don't know what they're saying. We don't know what New York is saying to them.
Right. Correct.
And there's been too many questionable things, not just with the Chiefs, but with freaking Tom Brady and the Patriots.
And if you don't want to show me the on-field huddle or let me listen to it, at least when it goes to review, I want to hear that conversation.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I want to hear the replay official and the official on the field talking. I want to hear that.
Yeah.
You know, about what they're seeing and what is and isn't and what should we rule this. That's what I want to hear. If you want to, you know, in the middle of the game and the referees are huddling for 3 seconds to determine whether there was actually holding on the player or whatever, I'm okay if you don't want to let me listen to that huddle, but I want to hear the replay official. I want to hear that conversation.
When a play goes to review, is it determined by the person on the field or determined by upstairs?
Whether it goes to review?
When it goes to review. Whether it goes to review is
you're
not
talking about who makes the actual call. Like,
right. Is the guy? Does the ref on the field look at the jumbo or look at the little screen and make the determination, or is it determined by somebody somewhere else?
I think it's a joint effort. I think it's that they get together because I think that's what they do is they.
So he's huddling up with a ref in New York.
There's another referee who's looking at the review and saying, okay, this is what we see here, and then the official on the field goes, well, we saw this, but also this to add whatever because you know you're looking at the one infraction, but maybe something else is going on.
Yeah, definitely.
They're talking together. I think it's a joint thing. Yeah, I agree. And I honestly don't like the immediate review, like the what do you call on-field assist
expedited,
or expedited video assist. I'm like, what do you mean expedited? How come this one took 7 minutes to call this call, but this took 3 seconds? Okay, so I don't know. It's weird.
That being said, I will say I have felt the expedited review has been good.
On the
it
whole,
has gotten a lot of calls where teams have tried to make a push down the field. They got a call, and then they run up to the ball, and the referee will stop it and say, hey, thanks to expedited review, this is an incomplete pass. And then everyone has to walk back. So it's kind of helped kill some of those, like, you just got away with some things.
Right.
Which we talk about all the time, the sterilization of sports, thanks to officiating. And in this case, that's exactly the same thing. You talk about how baseball wants to use robots for strikes and balls and things like that. Putting an extra set of eyes on it somewhere else who's got 30 camera angles is kind of the same deal. Like, you kind of want the human element to make the mistake, but also you want it to be right.
You want it to be right. You do.
I want it to be right more than I want it to feel human.
I want a certain element of mistake that helps you. If it's never wrong, you're never going to have anything to complain about. There's not going to be sports talk about the Kansas City Chiefs getting benefits of the call. That's never going to happen.
It's true.
You're just going to reduce the amount of interest in the game because the controversy won't be there. You need to have that certain element of they got it wrong. And it happens now. And it shouldn't happen a lot, but there's at least a chance for it. If you totally computerize everything like baseball wants to do, you're going to have a hard time with that. I can't go argue with a camera over balls and strikes. I can't. But
yeah,
at least now there's that chance of a confrontation. There's that chance of someone getting ejected. There's that, you know what I mean? There's things that could happen that can't happen if it's a computer. And I don't know. And then, of course, the more computers and the more cameras you have, the more risk you have of being hacked, infiltrated, right?
Yeah.
Cyber issues.
That is less of a concern
right now
than well, that's what we're talking about.
Until it goes further is what I'm saying. Once it becomes further, we start eliminating 2 or 3 officials because we have cameras, we have robots, we have whatever. Now things can get messy in terms of who's programming it, who's determining what it sees, who's actually making the call. Because
sure,
a computer's only as good as the person that programmed it.
Right, or the person you bribe.
Well, that's true too. Yeah, which could be a regular person, I suppose. But if it's mechanical, you can't bribe him as much. It's harder, but you got to go get the replay guy in New York.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, but that's what I mean. Is like right now, like you can go up to a. I mean, if I had to guess, my guess is that Angel Hernandez has taken a bribe. If I
still,
had to guess,
he's retired, but he's probably still getting paid.
I mean, he's still getting paid off for whatever he did. But
Right.
that's my guess is that he has taken a bribe at some point. My guess is there's not many clean officials out there who haven't taken a bribe
It could
of
be.
some sort. It
And-
seems crazy. It seems kind of bonkers, but it's also like we can't.
And to be fair, you and I are two of the biggest conspiracy theorists out there in
Oh,
terms
they're
of
so
sports.
much fun.
So let's just say this about let me end the NFL stuff. The last time the Super Bowl was played in New Orleans, which it is this year, was 2013. Baltimore beat San Francisco in the Harbaugh Bowl 34-31. I think that's also the year the lights went out.
Oh yeah, Beyonce.
Beyonce.
They killed power.
In the last 8,
It was Beyonce.
in all of there's been 8 games played in the Superdome in New Orleans, 8 Super Bowls. It's 4 NFC, 4 AFC. So if that helps you in your betting, more power to you.
It just makes my betting more murky.
There's also two Oregon Ducks, former Oregon Ducks, in Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year for the NFL voting. However, they're probably going to finish 3rd and 5th, but it is what at least they're in there, right?
Wait, you think Bo Nix is going to finish 3rd?
Yeah, he'll finish 3rd.
Do you think behind Bowers?
Yep.
Yeah.
I just do. I just feel like that's how
I
they're
don't
gonna
know
vote.
if there's a person who is more important to their team than Brock Bowers.
Right. That's what it should be. That's what an MVP should be. So a Rookie of the Year should be the same way. I mean, Jaden Daniels is going to win, and he should. But I feel like they're going to put Bowers ahead of Bo Nix. Bo Nix's defense, the Denver defense, is a lot more responsible for where they are than Bo Nix, although he's definitely put them in a good position also. So
yeah, absolutely.
But and then again, Bucky Irving's going to get votes. He's going to get somebody's vote. He's just
Bucky Irving's not getting votes, is he?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's going to be finished 5th in that voting.
Really?
Oh yeah, for sure. He's going to be a distant 5th, but someone's going to vote for him. Someone from Tampa is going to vote for him. But if you had to go look at the odds, and you'll probably see he's in there 4th, 5th, 6th, somewhere in that ballpark.
No way.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, he definitely had a great
year. Great rookie year.
He picked it up late, all that stuff. Like he definitely did some things, but I just
I hear what you're saying.
Okay, here you go. He didn't get a Rookie of the Year nomination.
What?
I just got a thing earlier. I see a thing here. It says 14 hours ago he was snubbed. Bucky Irving snubbed for NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year nomination.
Garbage. So how many people they got on the list?
Finalists for the award are Bo Nix, Brock Bowers, Jaden Daniels, Malik Neighbors, and Brian Thomas Jr.
Malik Neighbors is on there. Really?
He had a pretty good year despite their crazy quarterback situation. I give him that credit. I think if Bucky would have gotten his credit earlier, like started getting the carries and the volume earlier, I think we could be talking about something different. Because they didn't start trusting him until week 6 or 7. Once they had all their receivers got injured in one game.
He had 1,122 yards rushing on 207 carries. That's 5.4 yards a carry, 8 touchdowns.
Oh, gosh, he's good.
That was a good year. I mean, that's a good year no matter who you are.
That's a good year for any running back.
For any running back, yeah, let alone a rookie who didn't really, like you said, really didn't start carrying the load. Let me see all of these for the season. That way,
I feel like they gave him really tempered carries for a good little bit.
His first 3 games were 9 carries, 7 carries, 9 carries.
That's actually more than I would have thought.
10 and 9, 14, 9, 9, 7. And then it becomes 13, 12, 25 for 152 against Carolina, right? He almost didn't play against Las Vegas, 4 carries. 15 carries for 117 against the Chargers, 16 for 68 against Dallas, 20 for 113 against Carolina, 19 for 89 against New Orleans. So in their stretch run, he's averaging about 100 and something yards a game on about 18 carries, which is really good.
Interesting.
So he's been right there.
So they didn't even start using him until later.
Until midseason. It had been 8 or 9 games in before he got the bulk of his carries. So 207 carries on the season, and up to week 8, he had 58, 67, 74, 83. So in the last 8 or 9 games, he got 120 carries. And yeah, they started feeding him, and he started running for about 6 yards a carry after that. Somewhere along the line it clicked, and away they went. Anyway, so there's that. But yeah, he should have been there. I mean, he should have got a nomination. Malik Neighbors, you can say what you want, but
it's Jaden Daniels award. Like Brock Bowers, honestly, is probably the single most important person to a team. But Jaden Daniels has. I mean, again, it's a regular season award, I know, but Jaden Daniels has playoff wins. He has 2 of them. He has 2 playoff wins in his rookie year. Like, you're not supposed to count it, but that's like a judge telling a jury, like, hey, forget what you just heard. Like, okay. All right, dude.
I mean, yeah.
I'm going to remember it.
The cat's out of the bag already. I know. We can't unsee it, right?
Hey, what is the... Oh, my gosh. Pineapple Express. Pandora only comes out of the box. She can't go back in.
So yeah, Malik Neighbors had 1,200 yards receiving, 170.
He did have a great year.
109 catches, 1,200 yards receiving. I will say this: he had 400 of those yards in 3 games.
Oh, really?
So he had a
couple particularly big games.
He had 171 against Indianapolis. He had 127 against the Commanders, 115 against Dallas. The next largest total is 82 yards for any game for the year.
Huh.
So yeah, I mean, he put up a lot of big numbers in 3 games, and that's helpful. That happens, but that happens to everybody. So
hey, one of those games was my fantasy football championship where I sat him.
There you go. Nicely done.
Nicely done.
That would have been against Indianapolis when he had 171 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. In that game when Indianapolis was fighting for a playoff spot, allegedly. And then Pat McAfee sold his season tickets afterward. Did you see that? He recorded the call to his ticket agent.
Oh, God.
His season ticket person was like, "I'm canceling. I'm done."
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna side with a team who can't play football.
Next weekend we'll do Super Bowl. Next week we'll do Super Bowl preview, and we'll talk all about Super Bowl, and we'll discuss some Super Bowl history, some Super Bowl trivia, and we'll go that way. It'll be all Super Bowl all the time. And whatever else we can find. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of trivia questions. I got a lot of things. So NFC and AFC championship game records and whatnot. Got anything else?
No, I'm all good.
All right. So it's been a Brain Rock production, a division of Lonely Tree Media. We want to thank everyone for listening. We'll talk to you next week.